Crossover. Oh, killer crossover.
Just crossover.
It just crossed him over nastily.
Another victim to the crossovers. Cross him up and sit him down.
The crossover is powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. Boys, how are you?
Hello, Matt.
Hello.
I'm great.
Before they're going to show the flag here of one of these teams, I would love to. Okay, they'll show it later.
It's
I would
a
love
commercial.
to know. It's one of my favorite flags. I would love to know if either of you know what country it's from. We'll do that when we get here.
Oh, no.
I got it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
What's up, Matt?
I'm doing well. Weird episode today. Just kind of wide ranging.
How come?
It was good. It was a good one.
okay.
It was just kind of.
Oh,
We jumped everywhere. Like we jumped from.
I think I know your flag.
Which one do you think it is?
Is it not the one you want? The one you were trying to show us off.
I already
here.
showed it.
He told us it was Bangladesh.
Oh, okay.
I told you it was Bangladesh.
Yeah,
didn't
it was
hear that part.
Bangladesh.
I was
Bangladesh.
I was saying
like a food.
it was like a weird episode today because
Bangladesh, some hot sauce on it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that like can I get the Bangladesh sounds like a great
With
special.
chicken.
Look at that. We got sports on. This is great.
But you can get can I get a sweet and sour Bangladesh or can I get a hot and spicy?
I think a hot and
Bangladesh?
spicy. Bangladesh sounds like something to be hot and spicy. It does not sound like something to be
It
sweet.
does. John Bishop would never order the Bangladesh.
Heck no, he would not.
I would get the pork Bangladesh.
John
Can I
would
get
like to have white people Bangladesh and then get mad at you for calling it white
Thing,
people Bangladesh.
Have
Yes.
you ever been in a place before, say a Thai restaurant or whatever, where they ask you what you want for your number and you give it to them and they doubt you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like, "Are you sure?"
They're like,
Oh.
"Are you sure?"
Yeah,
Oh.
I've done that
And
at
I'm like,
Indian restaurants
I'm
before.
sure. Are you? We were at a Szechuan place, and Sarah Baker Henderson, who lived like over there, said 7, and they were like, "Little white girl, you're not supposed to have this." Kind of gave her that look, and she's like, "I live there." It's very funny.
I went to a taco place and they were like, "Would you
Taco
like-"
John's.
They were like, "Would you like red sauce or green sauce?" And I go, "I would like the green sauce." And they go, "That's the hot one." And I go, "I know."
I
You'll
want-
say,
Then
I'm
why'd you
very
ask
well
me?
aware.
I want both.
Mm.
But its problem is
Can I
that
get
I am
both?
the least looking Latin human that's ever Latin.
Okay, we're not going to do this for a second straight
Yeah.
I
crossover
know.
today. We don't need to talk
Oh, we're
about
doing
your...
more Latin.
No, he just keeps talking about how his pigmentation isn't as dark as he
That's
wants it to
not
be.
I used to go to Latin.
me. That
church at
is
7 a.m.
Schaefer. Schaefer keeps bringing it up. It's not. Don't.
But
put
you're
it
the one
on
who
me.
gets all offended by
Well,
it.
Schaefer
because
told
he
me
called
that.
because he says things and then he takes back
Matt,
his words.
you wear long sleeve pants and shirts every day. No
Long
wonder.
sleeve pants.
Yeah, they're long pants. I don't know why I just didn't say long sleeve.
Sweatpants.
You wear, but that's
That
what you
was
wear.
simple.
I know.
You just
I know.
simpled us.
Damn it! But like, you wonder why you
Wow.
don't have any
long leg pants.
dark
I was-
skin.
I
That's
was-
why.
I was wearing nothing but sleeves, like not long sleeves during the CWS.
short sleeves.
But I don't like to burn, so I put on a lot of.
Well, you shouldn't burn
Sunscreen.
because you're Latin.
Yeah.
I do burn.
I don't burn.
Stibs, Michael, can we get your opinion on Max pigmentation?
All right. Well, let's keep talking about it.
No, I don't want to talk about it. All right. Well,
Okay, where are you going?
That's one of my favorite
Bosnia.
flags.
It's Bosnia.
The Herzegovina flag. is one of my-
Herzegovina.
So
is one of
why
my
is that
favorite
two
flags.
countries? Is this like when Ashland and Greenland?
Yeah, this is
Greenwood?
actually they're
Greenwood,
the
yeah,
they're the
yeah.
Ashland Greenwood of the World Cup.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I
they're-
sometimes listen to your show or other shows. And it's not your fault.
Oh,
Thank you.
I'm like,
Is this a
wow,
old young thing again?
Wow.
What with
Wow,
him?
yeah.
What did he do this time?
He did one. What was the one you did the other day where I was like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Mm,
I'm sure I texted you and you did not respond.
I
classic.
don't respond to your negative text.
But it was not a negative text. It was just like shocking that
I don't
that
respond
a
to your
person who
negative
knows
text.
flags
Mm.
did not know this particular one.
I don't
I
know
thought you
flags.
knew flag.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let me
flag.
see. Let me go through my.
See McMaster here.
By the way, Matt, when I was listening to the crossover and you were telling the story about our lovely chat with the West Virginia athletic director,
Yeah,
you did do a very good job of not talking very much. I was very proud of you that day. That
I
was
let
an
him do
that's
awesome.
what Connor said.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Connor
We-
said he did not.
I have never spent that much consecutive time with an AD, especially one that I've never met before, and he was super cool.
It was- Menage a
It was the
trois.
Menage a trois one.
I didn't know what
When
menage
he
a
said-
trois
he
was.
said, I
You
didn't
didn't
know
know
it
what
was
Menage
any-
a Trois
He
was?
thought it was just any group of people,
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's 3 people having sex.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
And
I
you were
just
like the Menage a trois of guests.
Well,
I'm like,
yeah.
they're having sex together.
no
This
need,
was-
no need
this-
for Matt to know what that
this
is.
was the closest we got to
Bang.
the Sistine Chapel, and it was like the first 3 minutes
The
of
picture.
OBV where I go, we have a menage a trois of topics.
Of topics, yes. And I was like,
and
you named 5.
yeah,
And then Josh goes,
Menage a
well,
trois
that's
is
more
3.
than
He goes,
3.
I go, wait, there's a specific amount. And he goes, yeah, trois.
He went all the way
is
to
3.
10. Yes, he did.
And I went to 3 because and get trois que si set tweet neuf might be like 7, 8, 9.
Kenneth writes, Happy New Year, LOL.
No, I had no idea that menage a trois was French threesome.
Good thing you didn't bring that up while you were with the AD. Oh, it's a real menage a trois here at the OBB.
I mean,
He'd have been like, "Oh, I should come to Omaha more."
I felt like at one point with the AD of West Virginia, I was kind of just interviewing him, like not interviewing him like in a pressing way, but just being like kind of, because I'm like Josh, I just find his job so interesting and everything he has to deal with.
And
did he follow Oliver Luck? Did he follow Oliver Luck?
Oh, that's a good question.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Wasn't Oliver Luck there at West Virginia at one point?
I have no idea.
He was. Michael is right here.
I remember.
Wrong. I just don't know.
He's been so many places, like Stanford. He did the spring football league. I think he did for a while.
You are correct. He is the. Oh wow. So no, West Virginia. He was the AD until 2014. So there have been at least
more
one
than that.
person
Okay,
after
it's
that,
not said that back in the day.
Red.
Again, back in the day.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it was right because it was back in the day. But back in the day, AD stayed forever.
Those were the old days.
Dude, I remember the AD at New Mexico was the AD from the moment I got there, which was in 1998. He was there when I left in 2002.
Oh, wow.
I remember going back in 2010, and Rudy Davalos was still the athletic director.
Wow.
And, I mean, obviously, Devaney was the athletic director for a long time. Byrne was what, 10 years?
Byrne arrived in early 90s, left in 2002.
Yeah.
So, yeah, probably about 10 years.
Yeah, and then you had, obviously, Osborne came in, and whichever had with Steve
Osborne
Peterson.
was what, like 6 years?
Yep.
6 years?
So it used to be a long time, and now they just bounce around like crazy. I have to ask you this because
awesome.
I was going to ask you the last time I was in the same seat in the same situation.
Okay.
I'm a huge fan of like theme houses. I know it's weird. I always want to know the story behind the house. Do you ever notice the house at 72nd and Cass, the Harley Davidson house? Have you checked this out before?
No.
I've never seen it.
Wait, over by Walgreens?
Yes, on the other side of the street.
Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. I drive by that with the huge flag on it.
Yeah,
and
and
they
then
have
that really cool truck, actually.
Yes,
I
and
love
they
that
have
truck.
The Harley sign in the front.
Yes,
and on the
yes,
side,
yes.
they have Harleys in the garage, obviously. I want to know what's going on there because it's not, obviously,
just
it's not
loves
a
hogs.
business. He just loves hogs.
He's just cranking the hog.
I just want to know
Steve
more about the
Sipple
house.
in Omaha.
Yeah, it's a really cool house. And the woman who does the lawn garden thing, like a lifter.
Yeah.
She's a lifter. She's put together.
Yeah.
The guy's put together as well, but I don't check him out as much. And as
He
much.
must work out.
And anyway, I'm looking at it. I'm like, whoa, this is an incredible house. I'd like to go check it out.
I love that truck.
I don't think they'd like me though. I have a feeling.
I was going to say, I've seen some other flags at that house,
I know.
Michael. I don't think you want to hang out with them.
It'd be good for me to go there.
Yep.
But I do want to know more about it.
Yep.
I'm sure I've told this story before, but years ago, George and I went to Denver to our concert or something, and we stopped at some small town in western Nebraska
Who's
to
George?
get gas.
Remember George?
George, you remember George? He produced Nick
Oh,
Lachey.
Norwood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So you and George are going to a small town in Nebraska?
We stopped at a small
already
town
concerned.
in Nebraska to
Okay.
get gas.
Try that in a small town.
We walk into the bathroom.
Make
You
it a
know,
Melly camp.
I read the bathroom and there's some problematic things etched in. I'm like,
Oh, yeah,
that's
sure.
not good.
Yeah.
About somebody like George?
Yes. And then I
People
leave.
like Josh who have read a lot of German books.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
Actually,
I
yeah.
guess they hated black people.
And then I leave and I go to the register
They
and
hated everybody.
hanging above the register
Right, yeah.
is a big stars and bars.
Stars and bars,
flag.
baby.
Okay, yeah.
I go back out
We're
and
a
like, hey,
northern
George,
state.
did you pay for the gas out here?
Yeah, don't go in.
Don't
Don't
go in
even bother
there.
going in there.
We're a
I had the
northern
same thing
state.
happen in Auburn. I was driving through, going back to Fort Rucker, and stopped in Auburn. It was with me and my uncle Ernest, and we went in and we looked around, and I happened to have on, for some reason, an Alabama colored kind of shirt, not on purpose.
Mhm.
And they looked at me and they were like, "What, you Bama fan or something?" And I was like, "No, I'm just going to Fort
Just
Rucker."
a shirt.
And
I
then-
just put a
and
shirt
they
on.
had just the
Oh.
rebel flags and
Mm.
the battle flag of Virginia everywhere. It was an interesting
Be like,
place. I
you
had to
should
get gas,
actually like me if I'm an Alabama fan because they fought for you.
because they did.
They were a big one in your war.
Matt, any thoughts on these kinds of people? You're being oddly quiet right
I'm
now.
trying to find the headline.
Uh-oh.
I found a headline on Twitter that said 2025 reported the most anti-Semitic attacks in Germany of all time is what they.
Oh, I
time?
remember that.
Hold on,
Yeah.
all time?
Yeah,
yeah.
That can't
I
be
know
right.
a
remember
pretty
that.
big one.
I know
I-
what
that
you're
wasn't
talking
right.
I
about.
saw the
It
headline.
was like a column. It was something like Germany has never been more anti-Semitic than it is right now.
Yeah.
People are like,
I
Hold on.
was looking for that article to make sure it wasn't an Onion article. It
Uh-huh.
exists. It's the anti-Semitic incidents in Germany remain elevated in 2020, or like the most of all time. It's like, you sure about that?
Recency bias.
You sure about that?
I'm currently watching World War II with
Recency
Tom Hanks.
yeah.
Oh, was
Things are
that good? I
happening.
wanted to watch
It's-
that.
It's incredible.
Awesome.
What is this? I
I've
haven't heard
gotten
of
through
this.
4. So it's on the History Channel, which I do not have.
I hate the
And
History
the
Channel
only
now.
way to have it is if you have Hulu Live, which I do not have.
You know what? Can I real quick? I don't mean to
Wait,
interrupt.
interrupting the story already.
All this BS. Stop giving me apps that I gotta own. You'll only have this if you got this app. You only have this. How many
So I have-
dang apps can
Can
we
I say
have?
this to you?
Easy.
I'm gonna come. It's also on YouTube. So I am now currently catching up on YouTube because I didn't want to buy.
Is it on the History Channel YouTube?
Not on the History Channel YouTube. Some people are just
people are just uploading.
People are just uploading it. Yeah.
Can you shoot that to me, please?
Oh, you can just Google.
If you go to
Tom Hanks World War II and just search for them because you have to really look around to find them and they're not in order. Yeah. And so I'm up to 4. I got into, first of all, I have a son who is me, right? From back when I was me.
Logan?
Yeah, we're the same. Anyway, we got an argument, a knockdown argument, cursing each other out over whether or not Russia would have joined with Germany and stayed. Because I want to make a movie where the Russians say yes. Molotov goes in. He says yes to Hitler, and he joins in with the Axis, right? Or the evil people. And then all of a sudden, we see what happens. I want to know what happens. Kind of like Man on the High Castle or any of those shows.
Sure.
So he's like, it never would have happened because they hated the communists. I go, it's first of all, I'm talking about a movie, right? So it's fictional, but they were this close. 2 things had to happen, right? Germany had to leave Finland, and they had to give Russia like some sort of place in Bulgaria. That was it. And
that doesn't seem like a lot.
I know it wasn't a lot at all. But Molotov realized that Hitler was stupid, right?
Yeah, small.
This is why.
Hang low.
They're having this meeting, right? And they're talking about, maybe you've heard this before, the war is over. And as they're saying this, England starts bombing where they are, and so they got to go down to a bomb shelter. And Molotov's like, doesn't feel over to me. You know, you guys aren't right. And then so he ends up saying no, and he goes back to Stalin and he says, hey, we can't do this.
Yeah.
You know, they're probably going to attack us, but don't do this.
You want to write a movie, though, where Molotov says yes.
I want Stalin to say yes to Molotov. They join, and then what happens?
Cocktails.
Say yes to the Tov. That's the title.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Well, no, I want
to say yes to the dress, but like really controversial.
I think it's kind of like Escape from New York, because what we have to do is we got to make this North America.
Yeah.
Like we got to put walls. I mean, this is all we'll have because we're surrounded on all sides. Japanese coming from this way, the Axis people coming from this way. All that's happening, right? And we're just sitting there in the middle. And how do we handle it? I think it'd be a good movie.
Russia's also fighting in China at the same time.
Maybe we call it The Devil Wears Swastika. You know, instead of The Devil Wears Prada.
Well, they don't fight in China.
It was Hugo Boss.
Like,
I thought
you make Mr. H like Meryl Streep's character.
By the way, under easily hits.
That was pretty easy.
Good to be back.
You wouldn't have to. So they wouldn't have sided. They've been on the side with Japan. So they wouldn't have been fighting over there.
It's like Hitler.
They would have just split Europe in half. Italy would have been by itself.
So have you ever watched World War II week by week on YouTube?
I have.
It's incredible.
It's like that here on this one. They basically go day one.
I love that.
Day one is is September 1st, 1939 when they invade Poland, and then it just goes from there.
I would like you to write the movie where Mr. H is Meryl Streep, and he's got to decide if he's taking Molotov or Stalin to Poland. You know, which one of you are coming with me?
Which movie are we talking about? I missed it.
This is now my rewrite of The Devil Wears Prada in World War II.
You're gonna make it a romantic comedy. Nice work by you.
Thank you. They sell.
They do sell. Yes.
How would that work? Because the Nazis famously wore Hugo Boss.
They did wear Hugo Boss. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think it would be an interesting story about how we could, on our own, survive. Obviously, us in Canada, right? That's who the gone against everybody else, and maybe North Africa. So that kind of area too. But anyway, so watch it if you get a chance. It's incredible.
I'm currently rewriting
a book,
Cars 2, in my phone.
Good Lord.
Cars 2 is the worst one.
I know. I'm rewriting
the obsession that Gen Z has with that god awful movie.
It's a great movie.
My kids hated those movies.
Good.
Oh, wow.
Good
and
take.
It's weird because we had the Sheets.
It's because they have a football dad.
And we had they don't
nothing to do with
follow
football.
sports at all.
He's a football son.
Yeah, they don't. What it was, I think it was boring. And when you're
not as creative as
3 years old, 6 years old, whatever, you need a little bit more action.
What do you mean it's
and
not
it
as creative?
It's not. It's lowbrow.
They're talking cars.
It's lowbrow Pixar. Lowbrow.
It's not lowbrow.
First of all, it's not even its own movie because it's Doc Hollywood made with cars, right?
Okay, but there are a lot of things that aren't their own movie. Yeah. It's blank, whatever.
For whatever reason, I couldn't get my kids to like it. I tried because they had all the gear. They had all the action figures. They had the sheets and all that.
You see, Happer took a picture of a guy, one of his cleats this week was Cars.
I saw
cleat.
that. Yeah.
And then thankfully, a lot of the responses were that movie sucks.
Yeah, it's not. It's one of the worst.
That is
Pixar
crazy
movies.
for you to say that movie sucks.
It's one of the worst. It's at my bottom of my list.
You're just being a contrarian because you see a lot of people who
I said, okay, see, this is funny.
And you have really delved into not
I have
liking
known
it.
him for like 15 years.
Correct.
We had this conversation 15 years ago. This is not new.
See, here's what's funny though. So, because Nick I was like, yeah, it's the worst one. He goes, no, it's not. And I went and looked at the Rotten Tomatoes, and it's like the worst one almost.
Because Rotten Tomatoes is the Bible.
No, I'm just saying. My opinion is actually the more
Metacritic's
common
the Bible,
opinion.
but your Rotten Tomatoes is pretty good.
My opinion is the
Like
more
the
common one.
Torah.
It's not anywhere near the best Pixar movie.
It's not.
No one ever said it
You
was
guys
best.
are actually the contrarians.
But no one ever. Did I ever say it was best Pixar movie?
You liked it though.
Did I ever say it was best Pixar?
No, I just said it wasn't the worst.
Then
one.
I have never said it was
Congrats.
best Pixar movie. That was ever a
Sid
statement.
says
my
Josh-
worst girlfriend.
Josh is correct. Movie sucks. Thank you, Steve.
It's that it does not suck. It's a great movie, and it was a part of our childhood. There are things in your
True.
childhood that you watched that grew up that later found out.
Yeah,
that
like the
weren't that good.
Cowboys.
But that's the thing.
Sadly,
That
they
North
movie,
always
Dallas
suck.
40 was incredible. It still is right now.
I think that movie holds, and you'll find out in September when it ends up like getting millions of dollars in the box office when it re-releases. That there are still people who love that movie.
Have you seen the numbers for re-releases though? It doesn't do.
It's going to
well.
do very well.
A lot of the
Some
re-releases
people like
do not.
Mr. H. I don't care.
I think it'll do better as
Don't
a
compare
re-release.
Cars to Mr. H.
Sorry.
All right.
A lot of them
I
don't,
do
though.
think Cars will do better as a re-release just because we have grown up. Like we were all children when it came
Yeah.
out,
For a
and
lot of
now
the
we all
other
have our own
re-releases-
money.
So I watched the list. They were comparing that really bad Christy Martin movie.
What's that?
Christy Martin was a fighter. She's a female fighter.
Hmm.
And what's the buxom lady she starred as Christy Martin in this movie?
Oh, Sabrina Carpenter?
No, not the little one.
Margaret
the one from
Robbie-
Euphoria.
no,
Sydney
Sydney
Sweeney.
Sweeney.
Oh,
yeah,
Sydney
yeah,
Sweeney plays her, and she does a good job. But the movie bombed.
I remember when this
and they
came out.
went through and they listed like
$2
the most
million?
recent
Whoa.
bombs, and they all were re-releases. So they really
Well,
weren't
she had
bombs.
2 bombs in that movie.
Yeah,
Stop.
yes, 3 or 4 bombs.
Nice.
Yeah, she was throwing
Has
punches.
she
everywhere,
been?
too.
Do
Other
you think
than
some of that was casting? That feels like a weird casting choice.
No, she looked really like her. She got in shape. She looks like Christy Martin for the most part. I think it's because the movie is so horribly sad. There's nothing. Every guy she was with was horrible. Every person to her was horrible. It just.
What was the Eastwood movie about the boxer, $1 Million Baby?
$1 Million
That
Baby.
movie was sad. You
That's
ever
a
seen $1 Million
one
Baby?
watcher. That's one of those one watchers.
I
You watch
think
that
I've only
once.
seen it
and
one
you
time.
Is
never
that the
watch it again.
Nobody Puts Baby in the Corner movie?
No,
No.
That's
Oh.
Dirty Dancing.
Yeah,
I've
that's
never
Dirty
seen Dirty
Dancing.
Dancing.
You never watch that one again.
Nick, yeah, I don't know. Would you recommend $1 Million Baby?
Is $1 Million the? So I think I've seen parodies of it where, like, I think it was a Scary Movie parody where somebody punched somebody and then a bunch of these weird chain of events happened and everybody died.
No, she something happens to her in the
yeah,
ring.
yeah. Spoiler alert.
Something happens to her in
really
the
bad
ring. Something really bad happens to her in the
Okay.
ring, and then she's at a point in her life where she doesn't want to live anymore.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then they're trying to determine: am I going to kill her as her trainer, or whatever, or is she going to do it herself? It was
What's his name? Well, there's a lot of Canadians in Seth Rogen's crew. Jay Baruchel
Oh,
or whatever.
yeah.
He's in $1 Million Baby.
Okay.
Eastwood is in $1 Million Baby. Morgan Freeman is in. $1
he
Million
is. Yeah,
Baby.
he's very good in it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have you
That's
guys
good.
seen
Oh,
Annapolis? That's a good boxing movie.
Never seen
With
that one.
James Franco and
I've never,
Tyrese.
I've never seen that.
It's basically like a military boxing movie. Like they're in the Navy in Annapolis, Maryland, and the guy, to fit in, becomes a boxer, and so then he's got to fight Tyrese to prove that.
That
like,
must have
he's all
made
tough and
zero
everything.
money because I see all the boxing movies. I never heard of that.
What's it called?
Annapolis is Annapolis. It's a good one. It's a Mike McMaster classic. We watched it a lot.
Really? I've never even heard. When did it come
You would
out?
like it.
When did it come out?
2006.
Yeah.
How did I miss that movie?
You
What
would
did
like
make?
it, Michael.
What did it make?
17 million.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Michael,
It
you would
lost
like
money.
it. I thought it was I think it's a very good movie.
I have a high bar for boxing movies.
I know you do. I
For
know
boxing,
you do.
I'm a high bar for boxing movies.
What did you
so
think about Creed 3? I thought Creed 3 was going to be
all these movies, the
Way better.
Creed 1 and 2, all those movies are simply a vehicle for me to be able to watch more Rocky. And then when Rocky's not in it, it's not really a vehicle for me anymore.
I
So
think-
you didn't take Creed with arms wide open. Is what
I
you're
did
saying.
not take Creed 1.
Nice.
I think Creed 3 was
What's his name? Stapp?
Scott Stapp.
Scott Stapp, not Michael Stapp.
Creed,
Michael.
Creed
Yeah.
3 was they really tried to make it this is about Creed.
Yeah, and I really
just-
like the girl. I like the woman. She's one of my favorite actresses.
What's her name?
Yeah, 'cause she's
Tessa Thompson.
Yeah, I really like Tessa Thompson as an actress. So I watched it, but it's not for me. Not without.
It was not. It just.
did I get
I
turned
was
down for
so
this grant?
excited, and Jonathan Majors was a part of the movie, and at the time when he was hot, he was like a big
He's
actor.
still actually hot. I mean, he's a sexy dude.
Yeah, well, I mean, but he's not very popular in terms of the. I think he's still fighting off the allegations that he got.
He's good. I mean, he's
not
starting to do
King
movies again.
anymore. But
Wait, Jonathan Majors, wasn't that the dude that was going to be in all the Marvel stuff?
He
but
was
then
gonna be
like a
Kang.
really big
He was going to
creep?
be Kang,
Yeah.
and they basically fired him and changed everything.
I was very excited for Kang. I
Bad
thought
guy.
Kang was going to be quite.
I was excited for it too.
Well, you watched Loki, didn't you?
I did.
He was awesome.
Loki
He was
was
awesome.
tight.
He gives an
I only saw
8-minute
the first
speech.
season.
That's the first
He
season.
gives
That's
an
the only one I
8-minute
watched.
speech at the end of the first season.
That
That's
was
one of the
pretty good.
best speeches you'll.
Well, then the best part, I think, one of the best episodes I've watched and the very limited TV I've ever watched is the last episode of season 2 of Loki, where it's like they come back to that very same.
I saw that
speech,
one.
Right, they come back to the end, like he adds on to it, which is great.
I didn't see season 2. Like season 1 though.
Season 10 solid.
Season 2 is
solid.
wow. It's a little slow.
It's probably better overall.
It like the 1, 2, and the first 3 episodes are kind of like you have to watch them to understand the context, but then 4, 5, and 6 are great.
How did I completely miss this movie coming out?
I know, that was like
in
good,
06 too. I mean, I was going to movies then.
When your first son was born?
hold on, that time out. That was a really because we had just had Miles in December.
Yes.
He had the trach. We were going from hospital.
I was going to say
sleeping.
you were a busy guy.
I was sleeping like 3 hours a day. Okay,
yeah.
So that's probably why I missed.
That's why I started listening to the Grum.
I would like you to watch this movie and tell me what you think. This
is directed by Justin Lin, who I like as well.
This is how the turntables. Matt McMaster giving Michael Severe a movie.
This is weird. You know what? Here's something that you could do with the rest of your summer. What if you started like watching like blind spot movies, which for you is like all movies, but like that could be a fun thing.
Can I be real with you? I think that I overplay.
What is
how much? How many
blind spot movie?
So a blind spot movie is
that for me.
So like I guess this movie would fit, but it's not really considered great. Like a movie, like I'm trying to think of what is a blind spot.
So it has to be a great movie.
Well, like people like movies that are kind of considered in canon of like those are the movies that everybody. So here's one for me. I've never seen Slapshot before. That is a blind spot for me.
That's a great movie.
Hockey, comedy, and you know what? Here's another one. I've seen it, but it has been so long that I need to see it again. Blazing Saddles, I've watched one time, and it was probably 23 years ago.
I owned it, and I watched it about 300 times, and I've watched with my kids.
Yeah, I need to see
my
that
wife
one.
was so mad about.
See, I can one up you. So many.
Yeah, so I know.
Sure.
You thought The Godfather came out in the 90s.
I've never seen Casablanca. I've never seen the Rosebud movie.
I think I have the biggest one.
Citizen Kane.
Citizen Kane. I have the biggest one, I think, because you know this. I've never seen E.T.
Oh,
right.
Yeah, I have a bigger one. I haven't seen Inception.
I've also never seen.
I haven't seen Jurassic Park.
Good, you shouldn't have seen Inception.
I haven't seen Jurassic Park, and I haven't seen E.T. either.
It's the third thing. It's just boring.
Yeah, you always say that about his movies.
It's true though.
I'm going opening night to the Odyssey.
He likes the lull.
I'm really excited for the Odyssey.
I'm excited for the Odyssey. I just know there'll be a lull.
Is E.T. a Chris Nolan movie?
No, it's a
Spielberg movie? You were talking about a Nolan movie.
No, but yes, he's saying that
you said you hadn't seen Inception. I said Nolan movies have a lull,
yeah,
except for one.
He doesn't like it.
Except for one.
We've been
Memento doesn't
it,
have a lull,
and that's my least favorite of all of his movies.
Yeah.
I haven't. Josh really wants me to see Memento. Josh made me watch
overrated
Reservoir Dogs.
Really good.
Reservoir Dogs is awesome.
And I watched Sixth Sense in back-to-back days, and since then I haven't watched a new movie, and that was 6 weeks ago.
You should watch Clockwork Orange.
I've never seen that movie.
A little bit of the in and out.
I saw Clockwork Orange. I couldn't sleep one night, so I'm like, I guess I'll throw something on. And I decided to throw Clockwork Orange on at 2 a.m.
Terrible
mistake.
We watched it in film class.
I need to watch more Denzel movies.
You should watch all the Denzel.
I've seen
except for John Q.
I've seen that one.
Don't watch John Q. Don't watch John Q.
What's the one where he goes, I'm putting caps on all your
training day?
Yeah, that one.
Asses. You can say asses.
I thought it was MFing asses.
Well, you probably could leave that part out and just go to asses.
Have you seen
King Kong ain't got nothing on me?
What's the one Man on Fire? Have you ever seen Man on Fire?
They made a TV show out of that.
Remember when they put the thing up the guy's
yeah. I wish you had more time.
That's a good movie.
It's a good movie. Yeah.
There's a movie called The Beast, which is
never heard of.
Oh, I saw that. That was horrible.
With the lion?
Blind Spot, The Beast.
No. The prison movie. It's a prison movie.
Oh, I've never seen that one. Beastmaster. That's a classic.
Never seen it. Old Man Doug has been wanting us to watch that.
That's one. That's one that my age group, because there's boobs, we loved.
Hell yeah,
we just loved that.
There's a lot of movies with boobs.
Not like that though.
No, but
See, and James Amos.
Have you guys seen Role Models?
No.
Yes.
No, I've never heard of Role Models.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Role Models.
It's a comedy.
Who's in it?
Paul Rudd and Sean William Scott.
And the guy who played Andy Bernard is in it.
Was that Sean William Scott's last movie? I feel like he's not in anything anymore.
Any direct-to-DVD American Pie sequels.
What happened to Joseph Gordon-Levitt? What's he doing nowadays? I feel like I never see him.
I remember him after Don Juan or whatever it was called. He had something happen with him, like as a bad thing happened.
He was in The Looper. You ever see The Looper with Bruce Willis? That was tight.
Looper's tight.
That was a tough because I watched that movie really young, and it was really tough for me to think that Bruce Willis was killing children. Like that was tough.
I love Looper.
To wrap my head around. Like I was really afraid by that. I didn't like that, and my dad was like, "We are not leaving this movie."
It's good, man.
So I just googled Joseph Gordon-Levitt, see what he's up to. This is a headline from The Wire from an hour ago. Joseph Gordon-Levitt addresses ties to Peter Thiel's secret society.
Yes, that's the stuff. He's in the stuff.
What?
I think he's. Was it QAnon? What's it called?
QAnon.
I think he's a QAnon guy.
What?
Oh, just
Joseph Gordon-Levitt,
like the guy from Passion of the Christ and Person of interest.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Jim Caviezel.
Yes.
Diesel, yeah, that guy.
Caviezel.
You know, but what do you
Which
know about
sucks.
QAnon?
Person of interest is such a good
isn't
show.
QAnon that fake company, or was that a different one?
No, QAnon was the Pizzagate stuff, weren't they?
They were. Yes.
Then it turns out they were right, but
you've described people to me as QAnon people, and I don't know
because there was no basement.
what that was in reference to.
And the guy got shot.
Well,
yeah.
We don't have time.
we don't have
worry
time
about
today, but
it. This should be my summer project. Learn about QAnon.
I'll give you a list of movies that you should see.
by the way,
Josh Hudson is already done.
I can't stop laughing at you going, my biggest blind spot is E.T. And he goes, I'm going to one-up you. Inception. It's like, no.
Inception's a big movie.
Yes,
Not as
but
big as
E.T.
E.T.
is
I
like
mean,
one of the
Phone
biggest
Home.
movies of all time.
I've never
Yeah.
seen it. It's my blind spot too.
I forget. Do you?
Oh, you don't remember this? So what happened was we're in line, right, at Lakeside Theater.
Okay.
We're in line and with my mom. And
Came out in 1982.
this is a long line. And she turns to me and she goes, F this. They don't adopt black babies. Why are they going to adopt this alien? We're going to see Gandhi. And we walked over and saw Gandhi instead, which had been in the theater like 6 months at this point.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
And yeah, that's what happened.
We've done
That's
that.
my mom, though.
We did that before where we went to the new G.I. Joe movie, and it was, I think,
Which one?
It was the one with The Rock and Channing Tatum.
Oh, okay. Not the one with Bruce
And-
Willis, though.
Not the one with Bruce
It's a
Willis.
blind spot for me.
And so we
I like that G.I. Joe
Actually, G.I.
movie.
Joe movie's pretty good.
It's solid.
we're
It's solid
going
made,
we're
yeah.
going to the G.I. Joe movie. My dad is fired up to see
It was good. Yeah.
the new G.I. Joe.
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
And we get to the Crown Royal Theater, right? This
Nice.
is before it became an AMC theater.
Skokie.
Hold on a
Scope.
second. The name of the theater is Crown
It
Royal.
was the Crown
Do they
Royal
give you
Theater.
a purple a bag to go in with?
No,
Only if you put your dice in
If
it.
you put no, you
In
can put a
quarters.
chain in it. Yeah,
It was
you
the
got chain.
Crown. It was the Crown Royal Theater
Okay.
in Skokie, Illinois, and it was awesome. And like it's AMC and it's all like corporate. But
Sure,
before
right,
then, it
yeah.
was a classic.
All of them are like that. Yeah.
And so we go in there, and there was a line. Like we get in there before the previews. Like
Mhm,
they're not
mhm.
even letting anybody.
By the way, it's
in
called
there.
the Crown Village, not the Crown
I know
Royal.
it wasn't Crown
Yeah,
Royal.
yeah, I
You
just
look.
wanted
They
You're
named
able
it
to look
after
at
a
it,
liquor.
whatever.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's pronounced
So anyway,
Crown Royale.
Go to the Crown because it was in the village of
Jeez.
Skokie, which is why they called it the Crown.
Got
Village
it, got it.
because of the metro
So anyway,
system.
so the theater's not open. Dad goes, all right, screw this. The new Karate Kid movie with Jaden Smith
Oh, no.
is there.
Yikes.
And
Oof.
he's like, all right, we're gonna
I'm
go,
so
we're gonna
sorry.
go and sit down for 10 minutes
Check it
and
off.
watch
Check it off.
the new Karate Kid movie with Jaden Smith. We did not leave the theater. We skipped G.I. Joe.
I'm
We
gonna
finished
send
the rest
you
of the Karate Kid movie with
My
Jaden
wife's
Smith.
contact. She's a therapist. You need this. You need to sit down and talk about this.
Is this a scarring event
That's
where
a
I was going to
scarring
see
event.
G.I. Joe?
By the way,
so
Juan
My dad's a weird guy. He was captivated by
like father,
the
like
new
son.
karate. I see. Where do you
The
think I
G.I.
get it
Joe,
from?
the G.I. Joe movie is much better than the new Karate Kid.
Juan
Oh,
Claude,
Sounds
right?
like you said G.I. Jew.
Michael, we had to go.
I saw that
We
too.
had to go back to the theater 2 days later to see the G.I. Joe movie,
That's a good call by you.
and
a
he
great
was
movie.
and he loved it.
Before you go, Matt, Juan Claude says, LOL, keep Matt away from QAnon. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't have
You
go
probably
down that
shouldn't even
rabbit
get
hole.
into that.
Are you
Yeah,
concerned
That's a
about
rabbit
me?
hole you should
Maybe.
avoid, Mister.
Yeah.
What do you mean you're concerned about me? You think I'm that much of a weirdo?
Little rabbit, stay out of that hole.
Yeah, you know, you can get pushed in certain directions.
I'm going in a lot of
You're-
holes
you're saying
recently. I
he's
should stay
easily
out of some of
influenced?
them.
Well, I mean, we've had some things to say about some of his topics on his show before, and how
What?
just
What
the
have
thing-
you said about my topics behind my back?
Oh,
I
are
said
they
it to your face.
are they a little Rogan-y?
No, not that.
Okay.
No, not that. Matt stays
Josh
away.
doesn't like that I cover so many sports.
That's the exact thing I was talking
Yeah,
about.
I've told you before.
See?
People don't care here.
There-
I
yes,
told
thank you.
They just don't care.
But you feel like you have to do
Well,
it.
which
Just
you
don't
guys
care.
are referring to different things.
I'm referring to the fact that people don't care about most of the sports outside of football and Nebraska stuff.
I mean, I kind of am too.
That's
No,
life.
you're referring to softball.
No, it's not just
Is it
softball.
Nebraska softball? This year, people cared about it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
7 years ago, they didn't.
What was one thing you're referring to? You were mad when I talked about Nebraska
you
wrestling.
talk about hockey for like
Do you
2
really want me to do
segments.
the thing? You don't like it when we do this stuff on air. You want me to do it on air?
Yeah, why
Okay.
not? I don't care.
I don't understand the segments where he's like, "Hey, there's a hockey game tonight at 7:00," and and he gives me like 3 minutes on this hockey game.
Yeah,
tonight.
like, yeah.
I'm like, I don't need this.
You're
no
in the wrong
offense.
market.
In
But it's
wrestling,
3
Steve,
minutes.
You know what you're doing? You're getting your reps in for the next market you go to. It's just not for here.
That's a good call. You know what? I haven't thought about it
Getting
that
your
way.
reps in.
Good job, Matt.
I'm not thinking of it that way.
That's how I'm thinking of it because you're not talking to these people.
The odd
Steve
couple
says
was Matt
wrestling.
McMaster.
Stib says
Oh.
wrestling, Matt. Wrestling. Yeah. What about wrestling?
I've
Yeah,
never
wrestling.
spent any time on pro wrestling that
no,
wasn't
not
WrestleMania.
pro wrestling.
Oh,
Wrestling,
Nebraska Red. We got to talk about Antrell Taylor. We
We
got to
don't.
talk
Do
about
you?
Ferrari.
No.
Antrell Taylor's
Jordan
a great
Burrow
story.
was the
Nobody
only
cares.
one I say you could have talked about because the dude got undefeated twice,
What-
and that's the only one.
Once again, we spent 3 minutes on this. I agree with the hockey.
3 minutes, you'll
I-
never get back.
I agree with the hockey, and I agree. I spent too much time on the NBA playoffs, and I did have one time where I had a full NBA segment. I was like, you know what?
I did turn that off.
Yes, I was like, this is bad. So If you'll notice today, if you go to the court report today, we talked all Nebraska sports today.
Wow.
Nice.
Matt and I actually handshake meme here.
On?
Nobody caring about Ferrari. Me and Matt.
Oh, nice. Different Ferraris.
Oh, the movie?
No, Formula One.
The movie was good. I like the movie.
Which one?
Ferrari.
The movie disappointed me a little.
You didn't like it?
It's just not.
How good is Adam Driver at everything?
Oh, he's great. We
had
everything. We actually, you can watch our movie club discussion available on our YouTube and our movie club.
Nice job. John writes wrestling, NBA, hockey, professional wrestling, horse racing.
I wanted the Ferrari movie to be something that it wasn't, and I had a hard time reconciling.
The expectation.
Hey, I love the NBA.
I did make people money on the horse racing, though.
And here's the thing. You don't have to, like, people might like something. It doesn't mean it needs to be a topic.
Great advice.
I do think I do a good.
I told it to Smitty.
I mean, this is fun though, because you two are my two fathers. You two are my two radio dads.
Yep.
Grandfather, I believe if he's the father, I'm a grandfather.
Yeah, that's true.
Your radio pop.
He's older than
I'm
me.
a pop.
Are you okay with being radio pop?
I got no problem. I'm old. I'm gonna be older. Next week I get older. So I'm fine.
I mean, right now you're getting older.
Yeah, but technically when they click, click.
You're older than when you started the crossover 30 minutes ago.
I am 30 minutes older. Yeah.
Wow. What a great crossover. Powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. The program with Michael Severe starts next on 1620 The Zone.
Same vibe. Open bars on Monday. What's happening on social media? And the takes you didn't ask for, but we're going to give to you anyway.
Yeah, except now I've got to do more and try to keep Jimmy on the rails.
Good luck with that, Dan.
KOCN. Unsportsmanlike conduct on 1620 The Zone. Husker Athletics, Creighton, and yes, UNO. Don't miss a moment, they'll give you your fix. They're on every day from 2 until 6. Spend your afternoons with John, Josh, and Nick. John, Josh, and Nick. They'll show you what sports talk really is.
Oh, baby. It's Michael Severe. It's me, Josh Peterson, and Nick Grimm. We're in the air-conditioned studio.
We are.
Things are back to normal again, at least for 2 more days. What
Two
a time.
more days.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on 1620 The Zone. Husker Athletics, Creighton, and yes, UNO.
Welcome in, everybody, on this Thursday, June the 18th. The College World Series is still around, but we are not down at the Omaha Baseball Village.
Oh, no.
I was talking about it, Michael. When I arrived, one of our salespeople was walking outside and said to me, can you believe this? The weather has been pretty insanely nice the entire time.
Yep.
We had one tiny weather delay that was, what, a half hour?
Yeah, it was that Saturday.
Yeah, where it was supposed to start at 6 and it started at 6:45 or something. So it's like, that's not that bad.
Yep.
And then we had, I mean, honestly, one day where it was kind of warm, and that was yesterday. Otherwise, I cannot remember a week as perfect as this one.
And it's raining all over the country.
Yeah.
Did you
here.
see our weather report email?
I did.
It's supposed to be a little stormy tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, it was supposed to have been on Saturday.
Or Saturday, sorry, not tomorrow.
Saturday.
Today's Thursday.
Saturday, it's supposed to be kind of nasty, but now it's moving back. It started off all day, and now it's down to 45%.
It seems like the rain is going to arrive on Saturday after the game.
Yes.
And then on Sunday, it will be before or after the game. So it's like we're going to hopefully split the difference.
It looks like that's what's going to happen. Yeah.
Oh, man. That is absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
The Nick will be back there at the College World Series.
I will.
Up in the booth.
Hanging out with Kevin and Scott Graham.
Hanging out with Kevin and Scott Graham and talking to John down on the sidelines.
Kevin, I'm sure, is excited about it.
He's pumped. It's the College World Series.
I'm sure he's very pumped.
He's missed all the games.
He hasn't missed any of them.
Well, he's been listening.
Miss makes you think that he was actually wanting to be here.
He was sad. He told me, I wish I was
That's
there.
not true.
He said, you guys make me feel like I'm there.
And then he told me, I'm really excited to work with you again, Nick. I've missed you.
Wow. Those are words Kevin says.
Yeah,
None
100%.
of this is true.
When was the last time he said, I miss working with you?
He was on vacation, and I'm sure he didn't miss being here.
Oh, man. Well, we missed him. I'll tell him that. I definitely missed Kevin, so I hope to see I won't see him. I'm not going to be down there.
I'll see him.
There you go. Nick will see him. So, Nick, tell him hi for me, please.
I will.
All right, perfect. Let's get to the Grum Down as Michael Severe is hanging out with us today, which we all remembered, and there was no question about it that Michael would be here on the show.
It just didn't make sense if we had no games. I figured John would be working.
No, he
gets a day off.
I think he had to check out from his hotel and drive home. So he's home today for the first time in a week. You know, he's been staying here.
I did not know.
Yeah, he gets a hotel.
He stayed at a hotel every day.
I remember Kevin lived in Lincoln.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he
that's good for him.
Yeah.
Did they pay for the hotel?
Yeah.
The station did?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, Michael,
but they're short a person, but they paid for his hotel.
Sure.
He lives 45 minutes away.
Well, an hour and 15 to be fair. John lives on the wrong side of the tracks in Lincoln in terms of from here to there.
But it is nice in case we get a delay, then there's 3 games in a day, so he doesn't have to get up at 5:30 to get here.
I'll say that. So, don't you as the older generation, don't you always want the next generation to have it like a little bit easier than you? Isn't that okay. You want them to suffer as much as you did?
I want them to succeed past what we succeeded for sure.
Yeah.
Which obviously is not happening. Not your fault though.
Yeah. Thank you.
Trying.
It's not your fault.
Thank you.
But I do at the same time want them to have to suffer doing certain things.
It does build character.
It builds. If you don't fail, you're never going to be successful.
Character development.
I
so
agree
you need
with
to
that.
have some.
That's
tough
why
life.
third generation family money people always suck. But
Or
the grandfathers are cool.
They close the damn restaurants.
Yes.
I don't want to work in a restaurant 18 hours a day. I'm closing it.
Yeah.
Happens all the time.
I mean, people in the 1600s would definitely think we're soft, So like it's
they live to be 35.
I can't believe you didn't eat that bread because there's only 3 maggots.
3 worms in it. Yeah, I was the same thing.
Let's get to the Grum Down.
All right.
Michael
Grum
Severe is in the building, and somehow, even though How many times have you filled in the last 2 weeks on the station? Like 4 or 5. You always have new things that are bothering you.
Oh, I keep a running list of irrational anger
Josh,
stuff.
Are you upset that he does his irrational anger bit on other shows? Because I felt like we established that here.
Yeah, I am a little.
I'm a little
upset.
bummed by
Yeah,
that.
because now when you come to ours, I feel like we're getting scraps. You know,
No, I always have a fresh
With
list.
scraps.
Okay,
Listen,
all right,
I'm
You're irrationally annoyed.
angry
Okay, angry.
at least 3 times a day.
Okay, perfect. I was rationally, I would say, angry today. I had to go to the bank on my way into the station. I was going to turn left. It was green lights both way. A car had the right of way to turn right, and they sat there while the car in front of me was sitting in the middle of the street. Like, are you going to go? And so I honked. Finally, the car turned left, and they were still sitting there with the right of way. Like, what are you doing?
Was it the blinking yellow?
No, it was
'cause
green
people
for
don't know
them.
that. Okay.
It was green for them.
People don't know how
because
to
they were
use the
turning
blinking
right.
yellow. Okay.
I got mad and I honked and I went,
I'm
an
in a
old lady.
Some people don't know the rules.
She
And
did
then
not.
it's something, and also this is again not their fault. There are people that don't read English well enough to read the signs. And
I mean,
so
green though.
No, I know, but
universal.
I was just saying overall, there's sometimes where
Twice
there's
green.
signs that will say turn on this color or
Yeah.
whatever. And if they can't read those signs, they don't
I
know
don't
what
want
to
to be
do.
accused of being racist against
I wasn't
anybody.
being, and again, it's not their fault they can't read.
xenophobic.
What bothers me is
I'm
if
being
I'm at a,
xenophobic because they can't read.
what bothers me is if I'm at a light and it clearly says no turn on red.
Yes.
And then people behind me are honking
Yeah,
and telling me
that's
to turn.
annoying.
It's like it's a no
But
turn.
if you couldn't read it, maybe you'd go.
Yeah.
That's true. Maybe
You're
it'd be
right.
Good to be illiterate.
What the hell?
Does yogurt hate Nebraska fans? Another reseeding has hit the fan base. We'll talk about that. I actually had
It's
a
also
chance
hit the fan.
that's true. I had a chance to talk to a season ticket holder about it this morning. So some information that
That's what I wanted to talk to Robin Washut about it. The reaction he's getting from people.
Well, that's perfect because Robin's going to join
Yes,
us
he
as well
will.
in 3 o'clock hour. Plus, he saw film. He's a
Oh.
film critic.
He saw it.
Is
yeah.
this movie going to be on Letterboxd?
Was this his first
No,
one?
it's going to be on YouTube.
No, but you check in on Letterboxd.
I started doing that, and I'm not going to.
Well, you
I'm not
did
gonna
it?
lie. I've watched a lot of movies.
Well, I just do it for the movies now that I see moving forward.
Okay, so it's just for I don't go back.
Well, some people do. I didn't.
Okay.
I downloaded the app in 2020,
Okay.
and I just check in now only on movies that I've seen.
Okay,
since
well I'll do
2020.
that then. I'll check. on
Sweet,
just,
I'll
okay.
follow you
'Cause
on
I went back
Letterboxd.
and I checked in on like
1,000
50 movies.
Yeah,
and I was
It's
like,
hard.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
I
different.
tried. I don't like watching a movie and then doing homework after.
It's just, what do you mean homework? You're just
you
checking
don't have to do a
in.
full
I know.
review. You can just say
You
yes.
could just do a star.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
sorry
not even
that you
homework.
watched it,
You
yeah.
don't have to write anything.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
I didn't write. I only wrote for a few of them.
I feel like I need to write
I
though.
wrote
'cause
for
it's like,
Shawshank.
why did I give this 1 star? I'd like to know if I'm ever looking in the future.
It sucked.
There you go.
do it.
Right. It sucked.
Fair.
Good idea.
Wasn't good.
Uh,
Wasn't good at all.
Colin Wilson, friend of the radio station, will join us. He was hanging out with us last year in
Yes, he was.
person. Gosh, that was a great
He was here
conversation.
again this year, I believe.
Oh man, I didn't see
I think
him
he
down
was.
there. You know,
Based on his pictures,
yeah.
he was here.
All right, cool. So we'll talk baseball with him, but also college football win totals. Now, they were not released this week, but BetMGM did a nice job promoting their win totals to the point where people seem to think, oh, win totals are out in college football, even though it's been like a month and a half, 2 months for a lot of
It's
places.
been out for a while. Yeah, the
Yeah.
first one I saw was FanDuel.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And Nebraska's number is at 6.5 on BetMGM, so we can talk about that with Colin Wilson. I don't care. It's a Thursday. That means I don't care.
I had to look that up. I wasn't quite sure.
What I don't care is?
I had an idea, but I wanted to make sure that I had stuff prepared.
Okay.
So I went back and I listened to one of the episodes of I Don't Care.
Honestly, you could just probably pull from your irrational anger list.
No, maybe
Actually, I did.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
I did take one of the
Which-
things off of
Which
there.
I don't care segment did you listen to? Do you remember? Was John on it or was Austin?
It was in May,
Okay.
3 weeks ago, maybe.
Okay. That sounds about right.
It was the first one that popped up on YouTube. I Googled 1620 The Zone, I Don't Care segment. It popped up with an AI thing saying it's
Ugh.
a segment on 1620 below. And then below it,
Oh.
and below it, they had one of the segments. And so I clicked on it
Oh.
just to hear what you guys said.
awesome. Okay, cool. So we'll do I don't care a little bit later on. What is Nebraska preparing to announce this weekend?
Reseeding wrestling.
Reseeding wrestling.
That's
Oh,
what
that'd be a
they're
good topic for
going to
McMaster on his show. We wouldn't touch
They're
on it.
announcing that Bud Crawford is going to fight in the.
Well, you know what it is? Whoa, thank God. Finally, somebody knows.
Whoa.
I hope that Dannen gets mad at you, Michael.
Dannen.
It's not your story
It's not-
to tell.
Bud is retired. Bud's not fighting anymore.
By the way, speaking of not your story to tell, you sent out a tweet. Now, it ended up being true, but a lot of people were reaching out to me like, what's up with this thing that Michael tweeted?
Not
What
your
did I do?
tweet to quote?
Well, the George Darlington, you kind of broke it like in a, I don't know if,
Well, I got a call from his.
Yeah.
I'm really close to the family, and I got
Yeah,
a call from
yeah,
the family.
yeah.
And so I said, "Is it cool?" And he said, "Yeah." And so I did.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, they asked me. It was Probably an hour and a half after.
Okay, yeah, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
People were asking me like, did he die? I was like,
That-
certainly
I
Michael's
think-
tweet
I
reads
think
it
the way
because you
I-
never said R.I.P. You just said like he will be missed.
Yeah.
So I mean, context clues figured it out. So
Yeah, I didn't think I wasn't trying to beat around the bush. Actually, that was one of those where obviously I'm not related to the guy. I haven't known him my whole life, but in the last 4 or 5 years, I've done a few events with him and I've kind of gotten close to him. So I'm gonna miss seeing him in the press box just because he always made fun of me because I was fat. and we would talk and I'm gonna miss him going, let the punt go like that. Don't fair catch that.
Let's see. Oh, the U.S. Open starts and the World Cup is on. 2 of Michael's favorite events.
I watch this.
You used to like this.
I will watch it on the weekend.
Yeah, you'll watch it.
I just don't watch Thursday, Friday.
Okay.
Joey was watching the World Cup today it was when I take my lunch, so I was chilling, and he had that on in the background.
Happer and Schaefer.
But Joey only watches it on the Telemundo.
I know. He told me that.
I kind of agree with, because even listening to it, I'm like, this is way better. I love this.
That's pretty funny.
This is what I've learned. I learned this in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Morning
Joey?
producers are weird.
Oh, yeah.
They're all weird.
Oh,
all
yeah.
morning producers are just quirky.
Well, you have to be, right. You're waking up early, so you're probably getting less amount of sleep.
You're not really going out and hanging out with people because you have to go to bed.
Remember, your co-hosts are also waking up and they're probably grumpy.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're dealing with grumpy people.
100%.
Not me, because I love the morning.
Yeah, that's true. And you love the dark. You like winter mornings.
I know you hate AI.
Yeah.
This guy sent me this picture of Joey. Because he hates
California pizza chicken.
Yeah, he hates California pizza chicken.
Is Joey okay? Do you consider me? I was a producer for what, like 2 years, maybe? Not even 2 years.
I thought it was longer.
No, it was. Now, I guess I did
Wow.
fill-in stuff for.
I've
2.5 years.
outproduced Josh.
The fill-in stuff,
Oh, easily.
right?
Yeah.
the fill-in
Okay,
stuff.
yeah, that's true. Okay, so I was producer for 2.5 years. Like, I am a huge sports fan. Joey is of the long-term producers, and I know Joey's only been a producer here for a half year. It's going to be much longer than that. Like, I think he is going to lap every producer we've ever had in terms of sports knowledge and care.
And
no
caring.
offense to Odds,
he cares.
He like
a ton about
he
random
watches
things.
the NBA like all the time.
Yeah, well, he's a huge Boston
Yeah,
Celtics
even
fan.
in October.
He bought
He's a huge
League
Celtics fan.
Pass and then the additional thing, so he can watch the Celtics.
See, I used to watch the NBA in October, but it's been a
Although
while.
he doesn't have good takes.
Mm.
The whole take today about not wanting Giannis was
He does
like,
not want Giannis.
what is your?
He super doesn't want
he's a
Giannis.
center. I'm like, well, he's not a center, but he's as close thing you can get to a
Yeah,
center.
That was a funny segment.
I mean, come on.
Simmons also doesn't want Giannis on the Celtics.
I wouldn't
So,
know that. I eliminated
you're
him
out
from my
on.
life.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're out on.
You
Bill.
know what happened? I eliminated him.
I forget what it was.
It was him going on a rant about them putting the speed stuff up on the
Oh
football
yeah,
screen.
that's right.
And it was like, that's it. I'm done. I can't do it.
I
can't
heard
do
somebody
it anymore.
mention a player's miles per hour today, and I thought of Bill Simmons. So
That's-
good job by him, I
I'm
guess.
so mad about that.
Let's see. Finally, the College World Series Championship Series is set. We mentioned it earlier. We'll talk about that a little bit with Colin Wilson when he joins us in the 4 o'clock hour. We'll be watching it, Nick. It's a night game. No, not now. It's in 2 days.
Council Bluffs.
It's a night game on Saturday. It's an afternoon game on Sunday. And then it's another night game on Monday.
One time, Kevin was doing a game, and he gave me as the producer of it, so I could have the big voice guy say my name.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
It was pretty cool. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Michael
awesome.
Seville. That was
Wow.
kind of cool. I like that.
Good stuff. So that's what we have coming up on the show today. 402-951.
What a putt!
1620. Look at that.
Wow.
Thursday
That must
golf.
have been 30 feet.
Oh, wow.
And
Good for him.
it just wound its way in.
It is windy there.
Sepp Straka with a +2.
That's why I call Straka Mr. Birdie.
It is windy. They saw the clip a little
Yeah.
while
Yeah,
ago.
I turned it on this
windy,
morning.
yeah.
I sat
Flags.
down to start doing work, and it was in a
Was
delay.
it windier than last night?
It looked.
They're in a
Because last
wind delay?
night at TD Ameritrade, Chuck, whatever,
Yeah, Chuck
it,
box,
it
yeah.
was absolutely so.
Mhm.
The
And then
third
suddenly it
baseman-
just went.
Third baseman
died.
was like running towards the wall.
That was
Uh-huh.
amazing.
and the ball landed fair.
Both guys overshot it
Yeah.
so
It
horribly.
would landed fair by like
Yeah.
6 feet.
Yeah, that was wild.
That was
I haven't
wild.
seen that before in baseball. Prairie Flower Casino Zone Hotline 402-951-1620. Call or text us at that phone number. Also, we would love to hear from you on the Liquid Trucking Zone Twitter feed at USC 1620. You can find us. Oh, look at this. Kevin Kugler on the aforementioned Liquid Trucking Zone
I
Twitter
told
feed.
you. He said, I miss you, Nick, and I'm excited to see you.
He said,
Oh!
at Josh Tweederson, I have missed you, Nick, and the CWS. Nothing about you, though,
I don't
Michael.
believe
Wow.
any
Kevin,
of
have you
that.
missed Michael?
I don't believe any of that.
He was listening
There
all
is
the time.
no
Why
one-
would Kevin lie to
There
us
is-
like that?
It's not lying. It's not lying. He's not lying.
It's not a lie if you believe it.
He is simply each one of you.
I heard from him during, I would say, 80% of the games. He would send me a message about something that was happening. So he was definitely listening.
Yeah. He didn't want to be there, though.
No, he didn't ever send any photos. You know,
normally, they did trade for the hotel. Okay.
Normally the thing, that makes sense. Normally the Kevin, the thing he does during the College World Series is like, he says, I'm enjoying a beer listening to my friends. And he's like on his deck. He didn't do that this year.
Oh, okay.
He did try to tweet at John, though, and falsify lies about a ball going into the Batera landscaping broadcast booth. It's never happened.
I've heard it did.
No,
happen.
it has.
No.
A ball has.
A ball has never gone into that radio booth.
Okay, hold on a second. So a ball has gone into the far left one if you're looking at the booth.
A ball has never gone into the radio booth that we are in doing the broadcast for the College World Series games.
Yes, it has.
Nope.
The far left one, if you're looking up at him, is not the one that they.
It's not where you guys are. Because
Yeah.
the far left one had a ball go in it the second year.
I was gonna say it.
It was the second year, and Damon was sleeping on the floor when it came, and it went over, and it landed against the wall, and he jumped up like he was getting invaded by Nazis, and he looks up and goes, "What the hell?"
Under's already hit for those keeping track.
Yeah.
Designated Hitler.
Well, I don't know which booth you guys are in, but that far booth, it came right in.
Wow. And Kevin also adds, you tell that SOB Nick Grimm that it went into that booth last year.
Nope, never did. It didn't go in.
Why is he lying?
It didn't go into the Batera landscaping
Do you produce
broadcast
the championship
booth.
games too?
I am this year.
Look at
Yeah,
you.
he didn't
Did you do it
last
last year?
No.
So you weren't there. So it could have.
It
It's
didn't
so
happen.
interesting.
Okay.
What him and I don't know what him and John are up to. They're in the cahoots now. I don't
About
really.
what?
I don't know about this baseball going into the booth situation.
So I have the good thing about when Farron's doing the games, I just spend all the time texting him, making fun of John.
Nice.
The whole time I'm just texting Farron because Farron had to correct John because John didn't flip over his card, and so he gave the name of the Alabama player instead of the player that actually came in.
Nice.
And Farron just said like, that's the Alabama guy.
Ooh, awkward.
It's like just really deadpan. And then I text him, I go, "You ignorant slut, John."
Also, you can email us, Equitable Bank Inbox, Josh at 1620thezone.com. All right, we have to go to break because it is the top of the hour. But when we return, we will get to the reseating situation. Happy to be back in studio and happy to have my friend Michael Severe, who remembered that he was doing this show and had no doubt.
No one told.
Had no doubt.
Yeah.
More to come on 1620 The Zone. Welcome back. It's Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone and 1620thezone.com. Appreciate everyone for joining us in our coverage here at The Zone over the course of the last week. It was 1 week ago today that we logged off and said we'll see you probably in a week. And now here we are back at the station. It has been a fun series so far.
No, it hasn't.
We said see you next Thursday.
It hasn't been a fun series. Don't make that up.
No, for me personally, it was fun.
Oh,
the
games, not the games.
No, yeah, my learning on the job, doing something I hadn't done before.
Last games though.
Last night's game was almost really fun.
It was almost really fun. I finished the interviews because I did 2 of them before I left. Yeah, Georgia made it weird for an inning, and then Oklahoma immediately started scoring again. It got weird for an inning because it walked in 2 guys. It was like, wow, this is gonna be weird. Yeah. I left the interviews and I was so happy. I said,
if the game is over in the 5th inning, it's not a great.
That's
game.
the thing, though. It seemed like it was over in the 5th inning, and then Georgia was like,
well, I mean,
hey.
West Virginia scored 5 too. Later in that game.
That game kind of got a little weird.
It didn't really matter.
You never thought.
Still lost by 5.
I didn't think in that game. I had never thought West Virginia was going to win.
Yeah.
There was a moment last night where I was like, is Georgia about to do
Did you
this?
really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because they put in what's-his-face's brother to close.
LJ. Mercurius.
And then everything was a ball.
It was. Every pitch.
It was all ball.
Yeah. Ball 4, ball 8, ball 12.
Indeed. So we will be back. Our coverage will continue this weekend. It is a 7:00 game on Saturday night. So our show will be on from 4 until 6:45, and I believe that one is Schaefer and McMaster. And
that is correct.
The Sunday game is at 1:30, and so that show will start at 10. It will be on until 1:15, and that'll be McMaster and Happer. And then if it goes to and if necessary, it'll be McMaster and me on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
You think I should go to the Illinois game?
The football game?
Yeah, I was planning it out, looking at it today. I think I should go.
That sounds...
Only chance I have to go to road games are Friday games.
Yeah.
Because I do the Sunday morning thing.
How bad do you want to go to the
Well, I like doing on Sunday mornings.
Huh?
What do you... Oh, duh.
I do Severe Reaction.
Severe Reaction on here on 1620 The Zone.
So because of that,
The Zone TV?
you can't go to the Saturday.
I don't go to Saturday road games.
You have to be able to travel back.
Right. So I go on Friday games.
Yeah.
And I usually go to one every year. And the best bet, obviously, it's Illinois this year.
Uh-huh. That's an interesting
I've been there
matchup.
Twice.
Yeah.
To Illinois.
I've been to that stadium a few times.
I went for that opener where they got killed, where we all thought Nebraska was going to win there. I think they were favored by 7.5. I picked they were going by 14. It was Bielema's first team. They weren't going to be able to run the ball against Nebraska. And then apparently after the game was over, there was a fight in the locker room between coaches.
Oh, you're talking about 21.
Yeah.
The week 0 game.
He comes out. He comes out, and we do the interview in a parking garage while the buses are going.
And Frost had a different shirt on.
Different shirt on.
Yeah. We never did confirm if him and Austin got in a fight, did we?
Something happened.
Something went
Something
down.
happened.
Yeah, that was one
Something
of the many
definitely
rumors about Scott Frost.
That was great.
We'll talk some Husker football a little bit later on. I did want to dive into the latest reseeding kerfuffle. And this is fun for me because I honestly have zero idea what your opinion is on this, which I like going into a discussion kind of like ready to be surprised. I wouldn't be shocked if you agreed with me. I wouldn't be shocked if you disagreed with me. But if you missed it, of course, Nebraska has done the reseeding, or they've started the reseeding process for volleyball and for football. And I think they
made the announcement, and football still got
there's a lot of stuff to do with those
stages.
Mainly because they're also undergoing all of the changes with Memorial Stadium.
Construction.
And they did some new things with the Bob Devaney Sports Center as well in terms of moving stuff around. Not so much that we know of right now with hoops, right? Like there's no announcement with PBA. I know that there has been talk about adding seats in the open area in one of the, for lack of a better term, end zones, kind of like how the arena here. Remember when they built that?
That's where I always stand. When I've gone to games, I always stood
in Lincoln.
I like that area.
And so I don't know if it's like official or what, but there have been rumors for a while. Like, they'll probably eventually add seats.
Yeah.
Those other two, there's been consternation and frustration with it, right? But I don't know about you. I have thought for a long time, makes sense with football because you're talking about like generational, grandfathered in people, and they are leaving a lot of money on the table. And so like it makes sense from that perspective. I think you could probably say the same thing about volleyball. This seems like taking advantage of the fan base right as they finally have their moment in the sun, to the point where I can kind of get on board with the other two. This is one where I'm like, wow, really? I understand why they want to do it and why they want to make more money, but this arena is 12, 13 years old. We're not talking about, again, generations of fans that have had access to these tickets, and to come literally off of their first ever tournament win, 3 months ago, and now to say, and we're going to do this after next season. I feel like this is, Bush League is too harsh, but it's just like, man, this sucks. I really feel for season ticket holders.
My issue is this, and it's been when COVID happened and we were trying to figure out what was next. I remember that first time I talked to you guys, I was in New Orleans. We were picking up crawfish and we're having that conversation. And I said it then. The thing I'm always concerned about is community, right? Whether it's at church or at a game, these people. You sit next to the same people.
Yeah.
We sat in section 323 in the Superdome in the load section. They were the exact same people every time I went to the game for the 6 or 7 years I went to games with my mom's second husband. And you just build this community and you just know them. Where my sister sat in the end zone, where I sat for the NFC Championship game, she knew all those people. So when the Saints finally won that game, when the Garrett Hartley's field goal goes through, they're all celebrating because they're family, they're a community. You build a community with sports and venues, and to lose that sucks. Yeah. And I really feel for those people that are just used to being around the same people. You're friends with them. They have the same relationship. They've suffered with you.
Correct.
They've celebrated.
Especially with this team.
And they've celebrated with you. And so to move them away, I agree with what Josh Otson said when he said, if this happens, if it happened to him, he would go back and look at his old seat to see if anybody was sitting in it. If nobody was sitting, he would go sit in because he got moved. I understand making the money. Yeah. I get that. If you really want to fund and continue to make all these sports good, you got to raise more money. One way to raise more money is to increase the cost of going to the games. But I just feel bad for the community part. I don't have a problem with paying more if I'm supporting that team. Mm-hmm. If I'm going to, because by the way, the season tickets aren't that expensive. They never have been.
For basketball?
No. I have a friend of mine who lives in Seward. He had 4 of them. And I remember he told me the total, and I was like, for the whole season?
Yeah.
And it wasn't that much. Yeah. So I wouldn't mind paying a little bit more. Parking, you don't have to walk across boards through mud anymore, like when I first got here. Yeah. So I feel bad for losing the community aspect of it, not for the money-wise. I understand. You got to make more money. Trev said it over and over again. The only way you're going to be able to keep up is to be making money outside of what you're making now. So whether it is having some kind of activity around Memorial Stadium, increasing the seats, making things nicer, charging people more.
I told you before we went to break that I reached out to a longtime season ticket holder today. And basically my first question was a leading question. It's like, how bad are they about to screw you over when this came down yesterday?
What's his points?
He said, real bad. I'll never cheer for that university ever again if it goes down the way I think. Now, I think he's certainly frustrated. He's not going to stop cheering for them. But he did add, it's not about raising prices for revenue. I'd pay more for those tickets. To go back to what you just said, Michael. It's about locking me out for someone whose family business has given a ton over the years for tax breaks. Like, I think that's where a lot of the frustration lies, to go back to Odson's point. It's about these people that you don't think have suffered, that you don't think have earned this, that you think like are Johnny-come-latelys, who are like, whoa, why can't I have really good seats? I give you a lot of football money, and there's maybe that entitlement that it seems like that it comes with. If you are a big football donor, why can't I have access to the basketball? But you have to have the
point stuff because they took away the tax breaks.
Mm-hmm.
They took those away. That's why most people did it, because they wanted to help the university, but because it helped them with the tax breaks. As soon as they changed that law, you had to do something as a university, so they added the point system. And then you have to value it for some reason. It's like giving you points for McDonald's, but not giving you 20% off when you go to McDonald's.
Yeah.
They have to give them something.
Yeah.
And that's what they give them.
Email into the Equitable Bank inbox from Steve. He says, Troy Dannen has always said reseeding may happen more regularly when done correctly. Positives, more revenue for the athletic department, which is a must. It rewards high-level donors, keeps up with the times, modernize seating in an arena or stadium other than sticking with an outdated venue. Negatives, it will alienate loyal season ticket holders that supported programs through losing seasons. This could backfire too, because do we really think Nebraska basketball and football can be perennial winners? There are only 5 programs at Nebraska that are solid every year: volleyball, wrestling, men's gymnastics, track and field, and women's bowling. Thank you for the email, Steve. And like that,
and track and field is 8th or 9th in the Big Ten.
Yeah,
I mean they're in the middle.
I heard one of the, I think it might have been Schaefer who said that this morning. It's like, what's going to happen if they fall back off a little bit, and suddenly all these folks that suddenly hopped on the bandwagon are like, I don't really know if I want these anymore. And then do you end up with like this crappy lesser atmosphere? I think we see this in pro sports all the time. When a team gets really good, you can take advantage of that in multiple ways. One, you can just charge more for season tickets. The other, of course, is that you can build a new arena or a new stadium. The Warriors, for the longest time, was viewed as like the great fan base in the NBA, because kind of like the Knicks forever, they sucked, but their fans were diehards who made a lot of noise.
A neighborhood stadium.
Yeah, and
arena.
so like when they had this crazy run as an 8 seed about 2 decades ago, the We Believe Warriors, where they upset the Mavericks, and it was like, wow, those atmospheres were nuts. And it was the same thing when Steph Curry got going. Now, all those hardcores are priced out, all of them. And so it's like the atmosphere is now lesser, and especially they're not good or they take a step back, the rich folks who were only there to be seen, they're not going as much. And then you have a lot of empty seats, and it's like, wow. Now, like there's like a give and take here, right? Like there has to be a middle ground, but this again, the timing of this is just so it's like shameful to me that it's like, wow, 3 months after
But this is what corporations do.
I know.
And it's a corporation. If you look at the way the United States and the way we handle finances, it's always about you need this so then I can raise the price of that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Unless it's COVID, where that was the one time in our last 30 years where it went the other direction because there was no want for anything. And so you had to lower the price for it. Anytime there's going to be need and you're going to enhance the need by winning, they're going to charge more. And it's a business. That's the thing that's changed so much over the last 30 years. It
Especially
felt
the last
more,
10.
Yeah, it felt a lot more like it was all about the fan. I remember going to Super Bowls when I was young that were really like the ones in the Superdome felt like games in the Superdome.
They were like
felt like
fans.
Saints games, yeah. And then it started changing. College basketball was the one the most because I went to 82 in the Superdome, 83 in Albuquerque, 86 in Dallas. By the time he had got back for North Carolina, Michigan, by the time I got back to him, it was a different one. Yeah, it just had changed. And I can't imagine. I haven't been in forever now. I think the last time I went to a Final Four was in Indianapolis. I think it was Indianapolis. So, I mean, that's been how many years since Indianapolis? I don't know. But anyway, it changed. It just keeps changing. And that's what happens when people start wanting something.
Happer's meme guy texts into the show. He says the biggest lesson through all of this, Nebraska doesn't really have as much money as the Red Sea Scrolls subset of the fan base would believe. I guarantee you Dannen doesn't like pissing off the fan base, which this does, but he has to do what he has to do to make more money because they don't have enough money to compete with the big dogs. This is pretty clear. They're a mid-tier Big Ten school at best. Fans need to understand.
I understand the point system has been around for a long time, but they were getting something before with the tax breaks. Once that went away, then you had to start doing things that gave you a value for having your points.
Yeah.
Let me go back to worry about it as much.
Let me go back to the McDonald's analogy. Yeah. Is the better one that you are? Let's think of like a restaurant group where it's like, I go to the Blatt, and the Blatt also has their partner in there, which I can't remember the name of all their restaurants in the flagship group. Right? It's like I give all this money to the Blatt,
Amsterdam.
I should have access to Amsterdam. It's like, but those are different places. Even though we're under the same umbrella, those are different types of
apps.
Things. Yeah, and so it's like that's where like I don't think this is my opinion. And I'm a football guy. I don't think donating to football should give you priority access to any other sport because that's football. You should get the football perks, not the basketball perks. I said the same thing about baseball a month ago when they announced all that. Same thing with softball because, especially with these other sports, man, I do think that there is a difference between the general or even the diehard football fan and the diehard basketball fans and the diehard baseball fans. And so like that's where I know some of my best friends are season ticket holders, and they're like, this sucks. Like we're about to get priced out or we're going to get sent up to the nosebleeds and it's all, to make a few bucks. And they have been around. Like these are, to go back to what you said a few minutes ago with the prices, these are day one PBA season ticket holders, if not further back than that.
Ron Jensen says, had a season ticket since 1976. It's a total betrayal of the fans who've been there through all the lean years. I'm very pissed off and I will let. He ran a.
Oh no! I hope he's okay.
I believe he ran out of characters.
I'm worried.
I've had that.
Follow up
before.
and let us know if we're okay.
I've had that happen before, where you just run out. You say, "What the hell?"
Aaron texts in. This is very much private equity way of doing business in college sports was built on the opposite. I get they need to take advantage of certain stuff, but forced donations and the numbers I'm hearing are kind of insane. You really need to figure out how to sell this community aspect to a billionaire down the street. Truly, I'm not sure. One can happen without the other. Well, look, I don't think that Warren Buffett's going to throw in any change to help out with this.
No, Warren Buffett gave money for these mosquito nets in Africa.
Yeah, he
gave money for
donate so people can keep
for
their
kids
seats.
who had no computers.
Yeah.
Kenneth says one of my good friends is a 40-year football season ticket holder, and this is going to be his last year. He's going to spend the money on traveling to away games and watching home games on his couch. And the watching games on your couch really truly can't be beat.
I love it.
It can't be beaten unless they win. Because there's nothing like being at a place. Yeah. Look, as much as I loved watching the Saints win the Super Bowl in 2010, I was at home for that. Watching them win the NFC Championship game in the Superdome, it's a different feel, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if they're going to continue to be 7-6 or 7-5, going to bowl games or whatever, it's pretty comfortable to be at your house with your refrigerator, with your bathroom and everything.
Yeah.
And the TVs now are so much prettier.
Oh my gosh.
And I watched the television. We were in Nebraska Furniture Mart. And I love Samsung TVs. I think they have the best picture.
That's what we have.
And
me too.
I'm walking past this television, and I said to Chris, I go, "Oh my God, isn't that clearer than normal?" And she looked and she goes, "Yeah, it looks like I can put my hand through it." It's so nice now.
4K rocks.
And it turns out it was just a window.
It was a window.
So, but you want to go to Illinois? You go just watch it on the.
I like
buy a new Samsung instead.
Here's what I like to do. I like going to games.
You like your binoculars.
Because I do. I get to watch the game.
Football
right? Then I rewatch the game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Watching it.
Not while you drive
game,
this year. That's got to be a new goal. No driving and watching football.
At the game, I get to see all drive. 22 because you don't see that on most TV broadcasts anymore. So I get to actually know who was open. Like I know for a fact the ones that Raiola missed because I watched them at the game.
Yeah.
And so that's what I like about it. I'm still going to have the TV.
You know what we need to do? So, I listen to some Dallas Cowboys podcasts. People might know this about me. I'm a Cowboys fan.
I've heard this.
And
I know
there's a couple guys in particular, because I'm an idiot. There's a couple in particular, Michael, who always have access to all 22 college film. And
we can get it.
We need to find a guy who can hook you up with some of this. So then you don't have to go to Champaign.
Yeah. And I also do like
get a new TV.
I don't have a whole lot of people I hang with. I don't know if you know this about me. I don't have a whole bunch of close friends.
I think you and I still have to have that post-divorce dinner from a decade ago. I was supposed to go over to his house, and he never invited me. Not that I'm still thinking about it.
That's not true.
I swear to God.
I invited you.
You were like, yeah, Chris wants to have you over for dinner.
I didn't find out about it till much later.
That's
remember?
not true. I told you way before.
No, I was at the paper, and I did not know what was happening.
We had breakfast. We went to Saddle Creek Breakfast Club.
It had gone on for a while when you told me.
It was still winter time. Anyway.
Well, I didn't know. Like, I would have known if I was working with you. Anyway. I also like the whole idea of hanging with everybody.
People.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Your media friends.
Yeah, the media people. My media friends.
Speaking of media friends, Robin Washut. He's going to join us in a few minutes. We'll talk about this with him. Also, he's a film critic now. What does he think of the new documentary? I think there were F-bombs in it. I hope the YouTube version is uncut.
The F word?
I don't like it when people... Okay, Michael's going to be irrationally angry coming up. I'm going to save mine, but there is something about podcasts these days that just annoys the crap
It's the rating. They have to do it.
They don't have to. I listen to Scott Van Pelt, and he says the F-bomb all the time.
If you have the rating or don't have the warning,
put explicit.
You got to put the explicit. Some people don't want to do it because they think it's going to lower their amount of views.
They're idiots.
Because they get
who's the most popular podcast in the world? Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
That guy talks about everything, and he says all the bad words.
And it says explicit, and you expect it from him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would be shocked if it came from SportsCenter.
Yeah. No, well, again, Scott Van Pelt.
And he's Sports Center to me. I'd be surprised. Yeah. Most of them want the Athletic. I listen to the Athletic. It's always beeped.
It annoys the crap out of me.
It's always beeped.
All right. More to come on 1620 The Zone. A message on the Liquid Trucking Zone Twitter feed. We have a new P1 in the audience. I guess not new. He's been around, but Kevin Kugler reaches out again.
Oh,
Shout out
hi,
to Kevin.
Kevin.
He says, ask Michael if he wants to hang out with his friends at the College World Series this weekend. He
Oh.
loves hanging. All your media friends will be there. I saw Mitch Sherman.
I talk to Mitch almost every day.
I saw Mitch too.
Do you really?
I
You're
text
like,
him-
you were wrong
I-
on the podcast?
I text. Sometimes I just text him to say good show. But yeah, I text Mitch. No, I don't.
Ryan
yeah.
McGee. Ryan McGee's there.
Oh,
I know.
saw
I heard
Ryan
that. I
yesterday.
was very excited about it.
2 days ago.
Yeah,
I saw him. Yeah.
very, very awesome guy.
I don't think Mitch recognized me
Why?
because he was talking with like John and Happer. I'm like, oh, hey, Mitch. He's like, hey.
I made my one trip down there. I went down there that first Saturday.
Okay, there you go.
I went down that Saturday, went to a tailgate, stayed there for about 2 hours. We had 17 things to do that day.
Nice.
Went there, did that real quick, left.
You're good
did
to go.
all the rest of the
All
stuff.
right.
Yeah. I was
So
good.
football season is when you'll see your friends again. And again, Robin Washut, one of those friends, he'll join us in a few minutes.
Nice.
Joe in Vegas writes, I'm so happy that my favorite show is back on the air. I'm also so happy that soccer on ice is done for the year. I believe that's hockey. And that god-awful NBA. And we now have the two best experts on Nebraska football outside of John as well to entertain us today.
And
Wow.
Michael's here too.
Are we nice? Are we the two best experts on Husker football?
I don't
Shout
know.
out to us.
I don't think that's true, but
Put that on.
Well,
the,
you had a whole video about it.
I don't
Mr.
think that's
Expert.
true.
Why didn't you tell us beforehand?
I
Then?
spend a lot of my time on it. I know, which makes some people think it's stupid, but I do spend a lot of time on it. But it's something I like. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And when you get to be my age, when you find something you enjoy, you should probably hold
That's
on.
why I run all the time.
Yep.
It's fun.
Yep.
Have a good time.
You like it?
All right, here's a question real quick before we talk to Robin Washut.
Question.
Where would you draft Brendan Sorsby if you were
Fourth
in the
round.
NFL in the supplemental draft? You
Fourth
would use a
round.
fourth round pick
If
on
I'm
him?
Arizona or I'm the Jets, and I really believe Carolina should be involved in this,
Ooh.
because by the time we get to week 8, you may have benched your quarterback again.
Yeah.
And so if that's the case, why not invest on somebody who's not playing this year, get him in there, have a guy who's probably a second round talent, have him in the fourth round, the supplemental, and you give him, yeah, I would Carolina, I think for sure, Jets, Arizona. And the one I thought was kind of interesting was doesn't fit because he bet in Indianapolis and Indiana,
Colts.
but
Or the Bears.
no, actually Indianapolis Colts,
Yeah.
because you don't know what's going to happen with Daniel Jones.
I mean, yeah, he got a horrible injury
The man-
midway through last
the man,
year.
yeah, I mean, he was great for those first 8 weeks.
Yeah.
He tears his Achilles. Will he come back from it? Will he be Daniel Jones again?
That's what I was going to say. Like, are we really sure
Yeah.
Daniel Jones can keep being a good quarterback? Cowboys guys in my world were kicking around the idea of like, would you pick him up with one of these and then have a little depth and maybe a future?
You know, it's not a bad one because he's similar to Dak in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
He is a Dak.
Yeah.
Dak was at Mississippi State really a guy who ran a lot when he had to on his first look,
Mhm.
was big physical in the pocket. This guy weighs 238 pounds, I think he is.
Yeah.
Like Dak was coming out.
Mhm.
And so they're very similar. So
Mm.
I think Dak was a little bit more, had a better deep ball. That's the one thing that Sorsby struggles at is getting rid of the ball on time for deep shots.
Yeah.
He waits too long.
Well, gosh, I mean,
and that wasn't even that deep
yeah,
of a throw.
yeah.
but yeah.
I saw that play.
That
shut up
ball
on my
comes out right
feed.
away. It made the
Yeah.
touchdown. Yeah.
I saw that on my feed the other day, and I was like, wow, like,
Throw it to
that
the
was so dangerous.
Back
for
pile on,
Nebraska.
get rid of it early, back pile on
Yeah.
touchdown.
I mean, imagine that. We were all like having a great time, and there's a world where we're doing a post game show and everyone's sad.
Now,
and
there was
miserable.
still a minute.
There
some
was
left.
a little time left. Yeah.
So they might have gotten field goal range.
Man, it had all the vibes
Well, it
of
was
another
3 or
one of those
what
terrible
was the final?
losses.
3, 4.
20 to 17.
So actually,
Yeah.
they had to get a touchdown.
Yeah.
Wow.
They would have had. Yikes. They
How
would
about all that?
They would have been 0-1 and off to the races. Things would have gone. Man, that would have been terrible. So it didn't happen. Fourth rounder. So nothing higher than that, though.
I don't think he's
just
going
because you don't
anywhere
want to
than
give out. How much of this too is a 2027 NFL draft play where it's just going to be an insane crop of
it's as
players?
soon as you get to the fourth round, it's day 3 pick.
Yeah.
Day 3 pick is valued differently by most teams, and so that's the big reason I think he's not going to be a first day or second day pick.
I feel like you need to go old school Michael Severe on the 27 draft, just given how loaded it's going to be. Maybe you start a Substack, you do rankings, big boards. Also, I feel like this could be one last hurrah.
I'm
for
back.
You. Yeah,
It's
a
1996.
swan song. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, there's enough quarterbacks to have that. That's what you have to have. The 96 draft that I did my largest report was a wide receiver draft.
Yeah. Because that was the Keyshawn
that's
draft.
Keyshawn, and then you had Marvin Harrison in that draft too.
Good Lord.
So they were just loaded in that draft. I think
Yeah.
maybe Terry Glenn too. It was a really good draft for wide receivers. And then it just so happened that I worked at a place with a lot of guys. I worked in a produce warehouse.
Mhm.
And so all the conversations about the draft. And I was
Yeah.
like, well, I wrote this draft report. And they go, oh, is it like 4 or 5 pages? I go, it's 160 pages. And I brought that up there.
Thank God for typing class.
And then I started selling it. And yeah.
I think it's time to bring it back.
Bring it back.
Substack. Get Michael to
This draft.
Substack. All right. When we return, someone who writes, but not for Substack, he writes for HuskerOnline.com. His name is Robin Washut. What did he think of the new Nebraska basketball film? And what on earth is happening on Saturday at Memorial Stadium? Robin, it's football season. It's time to turn our attention, Nick, to football.
It's the last week. This is it.
Yep.
Till September.
God, doesn't that just feel so good, Nick? Doesn't it feel so good?
It's still baseball season.
No, it is not. Robin Washut when we return here on 1620 The Zone. It's our friend Robin Washit, HuskerOnline.com, fresh off of a hopefully lovely vacation. Robin, you're a father. Did you need a vacation from your vacation when you returned home?
I absolutely did. And, the cherry on top, and I talked about this in our Husker Online show yesterday, but on the way back, I came down with a emergency appendicitis.
What?
I have a appendectomy on Sunday night. So it was probably about as stressful of an end to a vacation as you can imagine. But we're all good. We're getting better by the day, and all systems will be clear here sooner than later.
What were your symptoms? Do you have a fever, pain in your side? Were you throwing up?
Yeah, really bad stomach ache. Like I thought it was like just really bad indigestion. And it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And the fun part was, dealing with all that while driving 8 hours from Estes Park, Colorado, across Nebraska with a car full of kids that were also sick of driving. So you want to talk about like a real man up moment.
Yeah,
that was about as man up moment as I've had in some time.
I've always said, if you're going to pick one person to be the man among Nebraska media, I'm taking
Robin Washit.
I've always said that. Robin knows.
Yeah, he's been saying that for about 20 years.
He just
the diamond push-ups. Robin.
He just proved it to us all. The dude drove 8 hours from Estes while having an appendicitis. Think about that. He could have died.
That sounds terrible. I'm happy you didn't, Robin.
Me too. I'm happy you didn't die.
Me too.
Speaking of dying, Nebraska basketball season came to a horrific death.
That was not a bad segue.
I thought it was pretty solid against Iowa. Robin, you had a chance to see the new movie. Now, so here's my first and most important question, because this thing is going to be premiering on YouTube in 4 days on my brother Luke's birthday. Happy birthday, Luke! In 4 days, he'll be 31.
And Matthew.
I hear there's a lot of curse words in this documentary. Are they going to give it to us without any stupid bleeps or silences when Hoiberg is dropping F-bombs?
I'm not sure. I would imagine they'll leave some of it in, but they might need to put some pretty clear warning labels if they debut the unfiltered version for public consumption. Because it was a lot, but personally, I appreciated it because it was real. It was a real look at what the locker room was like in some of those moments, both good and bad. And I think it also showed a different side to Fred that most people had no idea existed, just because he's so mild-mannered and PC as it gets in most public settings. To get that view behind the curtain of what his coaching style is really like and how he is able to show fire and passion and get after his players that way, I thought it was really insightful. So I wouldn't be surprised maybe if they added a few more bleeps here and there, but you still get the effect even if the actual full F-bomb isn't audible.
I don't think this is a spoiler alert because obviously it's real life. We know what happened.
Lost Iowa.
But do they end it with that amazing
Great
speech
question.
he gives in the locker room where he's talking about all the seniors and everything?
Yeah, that's one of the last ones.
So good.
The last scenes. And, I thought it was a perfect ending to it all because, the journey takes you from all the way from before the crown in Vegas, the year before, and just kind of how that catapulted the team into the off season and takes you all the way through the Sweet 16 loss. So, that's, I think, right there towards the end, and they didn't go too far into it beyond that. I think that they did a good job of focusing on some pretty important parts. Some of the things that were notable, and a lot of it just has to do with the logistics of when the movie was actually made. So, when they decided to make it, Berke Bjugtengel was already in the portal. So, they couldn't really interview him and have him really involved in the story. So there's really not much of him outside of highlights from games. There's zero mention of Ugnias Irasevičius and his back injury. So there's some other stuff that you would have liked to maybe get a little bit more look at. But I think overall they covered about every base, and that speech was a fitting end to it all.
Robin Washit joining us, HuskerOnline.com. Robin, I wanted to ask you about that because, of course, throughout the season until the tournament, when you're just not allowed to do these things anymore, they were releasing cinematic recaps. So we were seeing all sorts of stuff. the Bearcat situation, though, like there are interviews in this, right? So it's more of a kind of a traditional documentary rather than just like highlights and cutaways.
Yeah, so it'd be like a 30 for 30 type deal, where like they show clips of the games, whatever, and then like go to various kind of studio style interviews with coaches and players and various people. So it's super cool, really well done. Sam Rice, the guy that kind of spearheaded the whole film, and his team did a really magnificent job. And if you enjoyed those cinematic recaps, which I know most people did just because of how well those were produced, this is basically a 90-minute version of that, where it even gives you an even further look into the program and just how everything came to be last season.
So you get a chance to hear from people a lot more than any of us, especially Nebraska basketball fans. What was the immediate reaction on the talk about the reseed? What have you heard? What'd you get? What's happening on you guys' website in terms of the message board? What are people saying about it?
Yeah, I mean, it's about what you would expect. Similar to what it was for volleyball, similar to what it was with the baseball, softball, postseason stuff, where, there's a lot of ticked off fans that, remember sitting in those season ticket seats when Nebraska was winning 7 games and no one was demanding a reseat then. And now all of a sudden they have this big year and they're going to reshuffle everything. I certainly sympathize with that feeling, and have my personal feelings about just the timing of it all. But I also at the same time understand why it's happening, and just the reality of what college sports is now. It's not about the fans anymore. It's about money and profit and finding revenue streams. And Nebraska is not the only school by any stretch to do these sort of things. I know within the Big Ten, like Illinois and Purdue have done these pretty frequently. Kansas does them almost every year. It's like when you get to like the blue blood level, that's season ticket reseeding is kind of a pretty routine thing. It just has never happened in Nebraska before. And I think part of that is tied to the increased demand for the product, where you looked at the secondary market ticket sales last year. I mean, they were through the roof for some of those games, as Nebraska was really rolling. So, it was inevitable, something that I think, in this world where every dollar matters for athletic departments trying to keep up with the Joneses, you unfortunately have to do these things. And the most unfortunate part of it all is that it comes at the expense of the people that have supported these teams from the beginning. And that's the common fan that, as so often is happening right now, is kind of the least of anyone's concerns when it comes to these decisions.
Yeah, and Robin, I mean, you hit on it a little bit there. I think the biggest slap in the face or most frustrating part about this is it's a few months after the best basketball season ever came to a close. It's like I think a lot of us understand, if not appreciate, what they're doing with football and volleyball. But like, man, this just feels like such a slap in the face to the diehards who've been sticking around with this program that literally had not done the one thing that every power program had until now. And this is the opportunity that they're going to take to change things a little bit.
Well, I will say, I mean, it doesn't take effect until
a couple years,
coming season. So they're giving you a full year to kind of process this and do all that. And who knows? What if Nebraska sucks next year? And, all of a sudden, like, maybe all these big boosters aren't like clamoring for these 100 level seats like they might be right now. So, it's so early, and I'll give Nebraska credit as far as that goes, where like they didn't just like spring this on people like, hey, all of a sudden next year your tickets are, no longer yours and you have to bid against all these people to try to get them. They're at least giving you a year to figure all this out. And I will say that, like, compared to the demand for volleyball and just the supply and demand issue, like, it's not going to get any higher than it is for volleyball, just because of the limited seating and the product that Nebraska volleyball is. Maybe outside of like the high level court side seats, the suites and club level and 100 level seats, like, I don't know if it's going to force a lot of people out like the way that some might think. Like, I don't know if every seat in the house is suddenly going to become this unaffordable asset. It will for certain seats, but I'm curious to see if the level of demand skyrockets the price for men's basketball the way that it did for volleyball. Now, if they go out and kill it next year and are back in the tournament winning games, okay, maybe it will. But, right now I think it's still too early to jump to too many conclusions as to what this is going to do for a lot of those longtime fans. It will probably raise prices. I'm just curious to see, when all is said and done, how much of a spike we're talking about.
It's such a weird time in the sports world because there's literally nothing going on except for college baseball.
World Cup, Michael.
And, of course, this Saturday and this weekend,
yes,
the final recruiting weekend until September. So how are you going to celebrate? Are you healthy enough to be able to cover what's going to happen this weekend?
No, I'm not dealing with any of that. Probably do it, but I'm not. That is a Sean, Sip, and Munson priority for those guys. So they're going to be dealing with all that, and whatever the big announcement is on the 20th, we'll have all those bases covered. But fortunately, for at least my sake, I'm not required to be there, but I will definitely be tuning in from afar.
Well, I hope that your mindset is shifted, Robin, because it's, as Michael and I just said earlier, it's football season now. So we're very excited. We hope that you're excited too.
I am. You know what? I will say that, like, as we start rolling out like these ranking the Big Tens, and we're shifting up to our top 40 Huskers that start next week. Like, I'm getting myself back into football mode. I'll admit, like,
awesome.
A month ago, it was hard to be in football mode, just considering coming off the basketball season, jumping straight into portal season. But now that the dust has kind of settled on that front, I'm shifting myself back into a full football mentality.
I know you didn't write all of them, Robin, but since you're here, I have a bone to pick.
Oh,
I believe, honestly, Luke Lindenmeyer's good enough to be in the top 5 tight ends in the Big Ten. Is that crazy? Is that crazy? Was he close at all?
He was close in the discussion, but I mean, you're talking about a league that has like 2 or 3 of the top tight ends on the 2027 draft board right now. Like, I mean, it's a really good group of like elite level players at that position. So, and I also factored in the fact that Lindenmeyer's production really tailed off when Dylan went out. And so, like, I have to see kind of what that picture looks like, given the history of recent history of tight ends in Nebraska. A lot of times they kind of fade into obscurity. So, I think that he was really good when Dylan was kind of locked in on him, but I need to see a little bit more to put him along in the same category as some of these like bona fide NFL prospects that are in the conference.
Robin, all tight ends are like that across. There's like 4 tight ends that actually had numbers. You had guys going in the 3rd round who had 16 catches last year. It's just they don't throw the ball enough to the tight end. I'm for tight ends. I'm pro tight end.
Michael Severe here
and
for
I'm
tight
mad
ends.
They don't throw the ball to tight end enough, but you don't have to have big numbers anymore, even to be outside the first 2 rounds. That's just
I get that. And again, I'm not saying that this was like some like far off thing. He was in the conversation. He was very much in the conversation. In the end, he just did not make the cut, and hopefully he makes me and our entire staff look stupid for not putting him on there.
Robin Wash at HuskerOnline.com. He's not stupid. He's a great guest, and we love chatting with him each and every week on Thursday. Robin, have an awesome weekend. Hope that you feel better, and congrats on not having to cover the recruiting thing on Saturday.
Get healthy, buddy.
Yeah. It's getting better by the day. Thanks.
Awesome.
No
Bye,
Thank
Robin.
you.
Robin joins us here on Thursdays. When we return, things that irrationally anger you.
Woo-hoo!
Maybe this is something that can. Aaron texts in. My God, this is in response to you saying there's nothing going on in the sports world right now.
Make a joke.
My God, you have the national championship with golf in the World Cup. Are you ready for this, though? This week is as good of a week of sports as you will find this year. Okay.
Doesn't involve
Aaron,
football.
I love Aaron. He's one of my best friends. Come on. This is good for a June week.
I was being incredibly sarcastic.
Yes, because
or maybe
soccer's
facetious.
Yeah,
possibly.
Yeah. One of the two.
But
come on.
I was just joking.
Yeah.
I understand there's things going on that I don't watch. I get it.
Every weekend.
But I'm going to watch the college.
Every weekend in September, October, November, and December are better than this weekend by far.
Hell, the 3rd or 4th week of April is better. The NFL draft.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the NBA playoffs starting.
No, hell no.
All right, when we return, as Michael lowers the shade, Nick was probably getting very close to asking him, "Hey, could you please lower the shade?"
I was actually okay right now.
Oh, interesting.
But I'm glad. Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
Things that irrationally annoy Michael. The list is 8. 8 things.
I think I have about 8. Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
And I I have a few of them I think you'll appreciate.
Okay, Nick has one as
Nice.
well.
I do.
And I mean, you kind of spoiled mine earlier, but I'll do a little venting also about something that irrationally annoys me. Many other things. We have Colin Wilson coming up in about a half hour.
Whoa.
Also, all that to come as we rock and roll on this Thursday here on 1620 The Zone. Welcome back. It's Unsportsmanlike Conduct on 1620 The Zone and 1620thezone.com. Josh Peterson, Michael Severe with you on this Thursday. It'll be Stibbs tomorrow. We're doing the French Connection. Have you ever seen that?
Of course.
I've never seen it. Blind spot for me. I'm watching it tonight.
Popeye Doyle, isn't it?
Oh, because Thursday's movie night.
Thursday.
Good idea. Welcome.
No, it's mainly because this week has been College World Series week, Nick. I haven't had any time to watch an hour, 45-minute movie. But tonight's the
great
night.
movie. One of
I'm
the great
excited.
car chases of all time.
That's what everybody says.
Yeah.
So that's our movie. We will discuss it. If you want to watch it tonight because nothing is going on in sports right now, Michael.
That's true.
It's on Amazon Prime if you would like to watch it. And then it's Nick's pick for next week.
Yeah.
What are you
Do
going
they
to
play
pick,
soccer
Nick?
at night?
They do.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
they
wasn't
do.
sure.
Yep. I don't know who plays
Thought
tonight.
maybe you couldn't see or something.
Nice. Let's see. Who plays tonight? World Cup. Sometimes Google has this stuff right away. Other time. Oh, Mexico, South Korea at 8:00. That's fun.
How do we feel about me picking something that's on Pluto?
Oh no, not Pluto. Come on, Nick. Let's use an adult or an app that adults use.
I signed up for Pluto because I tried to get the history thing. I tried to get that on there.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, it's a good movie. It's just only on Pluto right now.
I don't know.
Yeah, just Nick, so many commercials. That is so many commercials. Speaking, okay, here we go. This is my in ramp
Nice.
into this.
Yeah.
Things that irrationally anger me. Apps that only exist to have commercials. I don't want that. I would rather pay money or not watch the movie. I hate commercials. Everyone's always talking about like, yeah, that movie was on TNT and I watched it. I'm like, you're a freak. I never would watch a movie if it was on television.
It
like that.
depends on the movie. Am I seeing it for the first time?
Yeah.
If I'm seeing it for the first time, I hate the commercials.
Yeah.
Because there's
But
so
even-
many moments where you're like, oh my God, here it goes. Oh, it went to a commercial. If it's something I've seen before, I know it's coming up. I know what's going to happen.
But like, what if
So it
it's
doesn't bother me.
a rated R movie? They're
Then
going
I-
to edit stuff
Then
out.
I get up and I go to the bathroom and I get a drink or I go get some candy.
No, thank you.
There's things to do.
All right, so that's what irrationally
We have
angers me.
conversations about Russia and whether or not they would have joined.
There you go.
Japan.
Great topic.
We
Excellent
do that.
topic.
That's what happens.
All right, Michael. So
All
whenever
right.
Michael fills in now, as Nick pointed out earlier, he now does this on the other shows. He's cheating on us. But usually, or it used to be, good, another goal. Holy crap.
Oh my God, another one?
Yeah.
Wow. One now.
Congrats to our overbetters who had the alt line of plus 4.5.
Dude, that is 4 goals in the last 6
Yeah.
minutes.
Every time you fill in now, you have this list because you are always adding to it, which is great.
Keep a running list.
But it used to be like you'd fill in once every few months, and it was like, here we go. But now you're just angry all the time.
I guess so.
apparently.
I guess so.
All right. So
and
here we
remember
go.
this. I always have to give this.
Yeah.
They're irrational. I know that.
Yeah.
Don't go, well, let's do. I know it's irrational.
It's something he is annoyed by.
I am irrationally angry. I know I probably even shouldn't be angry about it, but I am.
That's
The
why it's
first one-
irrationally.
The first one is I can't stand Eduardo Perez. He is the worst baseball announcer. I don't know what it is about him. I'm sure he's a nice guy.
His voice.
I'm sure he had a good career. It's the analogies he makes. It's the way he talks about. And if you ever notice when it's a 3-man booth, the other guy is always kind of correcting him about what he's saying because he's so off all the time. I don't know what it is about him. I'm sure he's a nice guy. I can't stand listening to him.
Oh,
It's my first one.
bummer. I haven't heard anything he's done because I've been down there.
You've been down there, so you haven't
and
heard
I've been
him.
listening to John Bishop and Connor Apple.
And I listen to the radio
On
a lot.
1620 The Zone.
You texted me because we've had sadly some internet issues.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
hey,
yeah.
you're off again.
I know. I'm listening to the car when I'm driving around. Like, damn it, there they go again. This is one of the ones, and this is a lot of people do this. Okay. They ask you when you go into a restaurant, even if you're just picking up, if you want to tip.
Yes.
I get that.
Yeah. Oh.
Then just don't tip. There's no reason to go on a long rant to be Mr. Pink about it. No one's ever done it as good as Mr. Pink when you're criticizing tipping. And that was a situation where there was actually a waitress there serving him. You don't want to tip, fine.
Oh, so you're
there's no
actually
need
angry
to
by the
complain.
people who complain about
Yes,
tipping.
but
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
They take it as a thing. They can just run. Like, stop. Just don't tip.
Can I add on to this quick?
Yeah, sure.
What about when they turn it around? It's like, it's just going to ask you a question, but you know what the question is. Why are they saying
They
it's
do
just going to
say
ask you
that.
a question?
Because they don't want to. They don't want to say, "Hey, could you tip us, please?"
Fine.
Yeah.
Say no.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Or tip.
Yeah.
Either way, I don't care.
Yeah.
I always tip at least $1.
I tip on to go. Even I don't
tip
do
at least $1. That's
yeah.
the way I've always done it. And if it's, I do 20-25% if it's actually a sit down.
Yeah, 100%. Yep.
I lived off of tips when I was a pizza delivery guy.
Yeah.
So anyway, just
Handshake
don't
me.
complain about it.
Okay. Good one.
College World Series.
Oh!
Hold on.
Oh. thought Nick was about to get mad.
No.
And now I have to defend it. I'm a keeper of the College World Series. You can't.
And I used to be one.
I love it.
I used to be one. I thought it was the greatest
sidelines.
event ever. This is college football.
I like talking to 7 of the 8 coaches.
College. Just don't accidentally call one of the coaches as a booty call. Just don't do that. Nick Hanley. So college football team breakdowns that have really weird phrases that make no sense. Like this.
Okay.
The offense took a step forward despite losing quarterback Dylan Raiola to injury. There is not a metric out there that tells you that Nebraska's offense last year took a step forward.
Versus 2023?
No, really, 2024.
They were a tiny bit better, weren't they?
They were worse
like a tiny bit.
They were worse in some spots.
They had a better rusher.
That's very true. The offense was not better. Okay, points.
Yeah.
No.
Not
finishing drive rate. No. Success rate. No.
Now, are you just doing like conference stats because they're scoring?
I'm talking about conference stats.
I was going to say yeah.
Listen, but not count. But Houston Christian.
Not everybody does that.
He doesn't. He does. SC Plus doesn't include FCS.
But it includes non-conference.
But it doesn't include FCS though.
No, but if you take Houston Christian, if you do the 11, no, they average more points.
They don't get better. 21 points.
What?
21.
2 years ago, it was 23.5.
What did they average this year?
Well, would have to delete one of the games, but it was 28.7 with.
So in Big Ten play, I think they were 21.
Yeah. See, but not everybody does that. That's a Michael thing where I get in trouble with you all the time because I'm like, yeah, they're averaging this, and you're like, no, they're not in Big Ten play, and it's like, but I didn't say that, Michael. You always wanted to be Big Ten play.
That's all
I do the whole season.
That's all that matters. The games against Ohio this year and North Dakota.
I get rationally angry with that.
I'm not sure if it's even state
Michael,
or not.
In the last 10 years, this has happened to you. But if you go back 13 years, I didn't say that. I said it the last.
I never get mad about the dates.
You and I had a semantics decade ago debate.
I never have one of those.
Well, what about 2012? I don't know, Michael. That was more than 10 years ago. I was triggered.
I did not hear you.
Oh, okay.
I missed the question because I was dealing with other stuff. Dog was bothering me.
Oh, that's right. It was a phoner.
I missed the question. Predictive text has gotten worse.
Oh,
when I had a T9,
like a word.
When I had the Razor, you had T9 predictive
I remember.
text. It was incredible.
Yeah,
I could go into a courtroom with my BlackBerry and type all my notes, mainly because the predictive text was incredible. It knew what you were doing. It knew what you had done before, and it had a pretty good idea. Yeah. There's now times where it has no concept in the sentence. It puts a word that doesn't even close to the same spelling. Why? What is happening to our predictive text? I don't understand.
It's gotten way worse for sure.
I turn off predictive text. I don't have it. I have autocorrect, but I do not have predictive text.
Even autocorrect.
Autocorrect is way worse.
I'm putting it in there too as part of it because autocorrect will correct to something that has no basis in the sentence you're in, and it has nothing to do with the spelling you started with. So it doesn't.
I don't like it when don't change the font.
Yeah.
Come on. To font? Who types font very often?
I know, exactly.
That's not a word people use regularly.
It should know what you're typing.
Yeah. So I font one to go.
In high school, I used swipe to text a lot.
Oh,
and it was incredible.
It was really good back then.
It worked so well. And in the last 10 years, it's gotten so bad I can't do it anymore. Swipe to text was one of the best things ever.
It was fast as hell back then.
It was.
Yeah. Well, I was always taking notes with my phone for years.
It was good.
Yeah, it was good.
All right, where are we at now?
Okay, so you got to combine two things.
Okay.
Bad drivers and smokers.
Oh,
okay.
When people are driving and smoking
and they're being bad,
they become 10 times worse drivers. They slow down about 15 miles an hour. Wow. Have you noticed that?
That's true.
It's true.
What?
Just watch it.
Okay.
If somebody's driving in front of you and they're going really slowly, check it out. They're probably smoking a cigarette because they're relaxed. They're not paying attention to anything else. Then they flick their damn cigarette out the window, and then all of a sudden they're going to regular speed again.
See, that pisses me off. Back when I smoked, I would put it out in an ashtray.
Yeah.
And I would definitely drive normal speed. That doesn't make any sense to me.
It's very weird. It's very weird when they're smoking. They just don't drive the same way. I hate people who drive and smoke. My next one is soccer. That's it. Dishes in the sink.
Oh, let's go.
There's an unwillingness in my house to put dishes into the dishwasher that has dirty dishes in it.
Yeah.
Then, when the dishes are clean, there's an unwillingness to empty the dishwasher. I don't care how many times I talk about it or I turn off the internet. It doesn't matter. Doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Dishes are in the sink when I get home.
Yeah.
And it drives me. I can't cook with dishes in the sink.
Yeah.
The kitchen needs to be clean when I start. And then I clean as I go along. And when I'm done, it's clean.
I help and clean as she cooks. That's usually my job. And you know what? I have found loading and unloading the dishwasher kind of relaxing in recent years. You know why? because I can listen to a podcast. Podcasting has changed my entire life because it's like throw on the headphones, do whatever I need to do. I'm learning about the NFL 2026 season and I'm feeling great.
One of the worst ass whippings I ever took. This is my family because I put the forks in.
Pointy up. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I got in so much trouble. I was like, what does it matter? And that was Ellen.
I house sit sometimes, and my friend who I house sit for, he does forks up.
Like got to have them down, apparently, because if you reach in, you grab them with your hands.
Get stabbed.
Just don't get stabbed.
Well, they don't. It's the idea of grabbing the top of it because it's clean and your hands are dirty. That's what my mom was mad about.
That's interesting. I never thought about that.
She didn't care if it cut you.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was about the stabbing.
No, she was worried about the fact that you were touching the clean thing, the top part.
Okay.
People that don't answer emails.
Oh, yeah.
And I email a lot of people. I got a lot of stuff to do. I'm emailing a lot of people. It's not that hard to get back to somebody. I don't understand why. And then what I'm really worried about is that I'm worried it went to spam.
Yeah.
Because that happens a lot.
So then you want to follow up with them.
And I just want to check and see. They go to spam. Did you actually get it? That kind of thing. So
why are you a jerk?
Answer the email.
I'm with you there, except there's sometimes where I get an email where a response is requested, but I feel like I don't need to respond. It feels more like, hey, do this. It's like, yeah, I'll do this. You don't need me to tell you I'll do this.
But they ask you to respond and you don't?
That's
even worse.
No, I do. I feel like I don't have to.
Yeah.
Please
but
respond.
If they ask you, could you please respond to this email? And you're like, yeah, no.
No, I'll do it. It feels unnecessary for me to respond. It's like the time I spent responding, I could have just started on this.
What is it? You have to swipe the text, dude. Respond. Come on.
By the way, my friend who I house it for texts in and says, I hope my forks stab you next time. I wasn't being critical. I just say that your forks are
up.
You do it that way. I don't do it that way.
Last one. Yeah. The state of Oklahoma.
Awesome.
There are a few places in this country that are more gutter and poor in everything they do.
Mm-hmm.
And they think they're special because they're religious. Look, man, I've been religious my whole damn life. Doesn't mean my education system's got to be 50. I can't take care of kids. I can't take care of pregnant women. They kill off more people with their health system in Oklahoma, and they don't educate the students either.
Yeah.
I hate the state of Oklahoma. Overall rank, 50.
Yikes.
Overall education rank, 50.
Wow.
Median ACT score, 49. Their reading score,
congrats.
Their reading score is 48. Their math score is 44.
Congrats.
The dropout rate, of course, is 46.
Yikes.
Overall health is 49. Health and behavioral science, 47. And their clinical care accessibility is 46. You're going to get sick. You're not going to know you're sick because you're too dumb. And you can't even read the bottle to figure out what medicine you take because you're living in Oklahoma.
And then you're turning right on stop signs, even though it says no turn on red.
Because you can't read it.
And you're smoking in your car.
You're smoking. You're ripping a dart.
You know why? You know why Texas doesn't fall in the Gulf of Mexico? Because Oklahoma sucks.
Alex Inalar writes on YouTube, Michael and I would not get along. That's what I'm learning. I wonder what in particular it was from this segment.
Does he smoke and drive?
Sinalar is a smoker. Maybe he also is leaving his dirty dishes in the sink. I don't know. I've never been to Alex's house. So
I have not either.
Seen his sink.
I believe. Are we neighbors?
Sindelar?
I think Alex and I are neighbors.
No, he lives downtown.
Okay.
They live downtown.
Oh, I thought
you're neighbors with Ian.
I am, but I also thought that Alex was too.
Yeah.
I think they're friends.
They are friends. Yeah.
So it's Ian and it's two former Creighton players that are behind us. It's like Jemiah Neal.
No way.
Yeah, and then what's the white dude's name?
Doug McDermott.
That's funny. No, the other guy.
Ethan
They
Rogge.
live behind me.
That's cool.
Yeah. They hang out. They stay out in front of the house and they talk.
Nice.
Nick.
Yes. I was at a certain chain bookstore the other morning.
Oh, okay.
Trying to find a chess magazine. That doesn't seem hard, right? There's a lot of them, and this particular place has billions of magazines. They literally have multiple rows of different kind of niche magazines, like very specific, like World War II model building type of magazines.
Maybe for Michael.
Right?
Yeah.
Nary a chess magazine in that entire store.
I didn't know they made chess magazines.
Can I ask you something?
And not only in that store, and the entire state, because I went onto their app to just search, just out of curiosity.
This is for
nowhere.
The game of chess.
Yes.
Not a magazine that has pictures of chess.
Yes. It's for the game of chess. It's
He
a
loves-
magazine.
I don't know. It could be like
about
Al
like-
Bundy.
No, about
Look at
current.
those kind of chess.
He
Nice.
loves chess.
I do.
I love Al Bundy.
Nice. I've been trying to get back more into it, and I want to get the magazine because the magazines are thick and they have problems and interesting interviews and breakdowns and stuff. I wanted to get into it.
I was sad when my son stopped playing. He was playing in the esports thing. He
Yeah.
was doing chess, and he
like,
stopped.
I could get a subscription to this. It's not about that. It's like I want to be able to just a la carte get an issue if I want it, but it's not there.
Chess
Can you buy it
magazine.
online?
How many people
Yes.
do you think in this country are buying chess magazines on a given week?
That's probably why it's not the store. Yeah.
But that's why I threw in that, like, there's very specific niche magazines
Sure.
in there. How
Yeah.
can chess isn't that niche?
Yeah, well, it's
Like, I don't think
For
it's
a
that
the magazine.
I think the game isn't, but
Yeah,
the magazine
magazine.
probably is.
right.
Yeah.
How many people are reading up on?
I
playing
found
chess?
out, and I don't want to
Because
dox
everybody's
anybody.
on YouTube now.
I found out Nick is playing chess with one of our semi-regulars,
Mhm.
and I was blown away
Guest?
by this.
Yeah.
One of our guests.
Simple.
No.
That'd be awesome.
I couldn't believe it. I found this out yesterday. I was blown away. He goes, yeah, I just finished a game versus blank.
Well,
He
let me
whooped
say,
my ass.
the smartest person you guys have on is Michael Brunts. Is it Brunts?
That's a good
I always
guess.
think of- I
That's
always
a
think
really
of-
good guess.
I
I should
always
have hit up
think
Brunson
about-
and see if he wants to play.
Yeah.
Chess being smart people.
Also,
so.
the way, and we're going to break, so you can tell you off air how
Yeah,
he
yeah.
figured this out. The way Nick found out about this, about how he could start playing chess with this person,
Yeah.
incredible story.
Mhm.
Incredible.
I can't wait to hear it.
Uh,
Oklahoma, you suck.
Yeah, I like your ranting about Oklahoma.
It's a good one.
All right, when we return, Colin Wilson, friend of the Grum,
Yeah.
friend of 1620. You guys had him on a few times during the season on 1620, the pregame.
The pregame
if I
show,
remember
yes,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, which is maybe going to be every week this year. That's what the rumors on the streets are.
That's what I'm hearing.
Because he just doesn't want to do postgame anymore. He's like, if I have to do the pregame show every week, can't do postgame.
Yeah, that's why I got to figure out the Illinois thing.
And I'm really hoping that I'm spotting every week, and then everyone's going to hate us. So that'll be fun. When we return, Colin Wilson. That was a long-winded way of saying Colin Wilson is going
Nice.
to join us. So
With
we'll
two
have,
L's.
we'll have him. Also, I don't care coming up later on. It is with two L's. I texted him last night with one L, and I felt like a jerk when I realized it.
You are a jerk.
I'm going to apologize to him.
You should
That's what
apologize.
I'm going to do first thing. When
Okay.
we return here on 1620 The Zone. Welcome back to Unsportsmanlike Conduct here on 1620 The Zone, 1620thezone.com, zonetv.live, a myriad of places. We are happy to welcome right now on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline from the Action Network, Colin Wilson. And Colin, as we begin this conversation, apologies. I texted you last night. I'm going to use the ballpark as an excuse, but I was just an idiot. I only put one L in your name when I texted you. If I were you, I'd have said, hell no, you can't even spell my name right. So apologies, and also thank you for joining us.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, look, we've been doing a podcast over at Action Network for nearly a decade, and Stuckey always says Colin with 2 L's.
Yep.
So by now, after 10 years, people should know.
That's how I always find you. Yes, no, true, very true.
Tough look for me. Well, Colin, we appreciate you taking the time to join us today. As Michael and I joked a little bit earlier, the win totals have been out for a while, though BetMGM is doing a really good job with like the branding this week to the point where you would assume, oh, hey, college football win totals are finally out. So we figured this would be a great time to talk about that. Plus baseball, given that you have some nice Oklahoma tickets in your pocket. Let's talk about college football first. And I wanted to ask you a big picture question, just given all of the roster movement, everything that we see. Do you find it now easier or harder with win totals at this time of year compared to like when you first got into the business and things were just a little bit more static than they are at this present time?
Harder. It's absolutely harder, and it's because of the fluidity of the rosters. It was even harder when there were 2 transfer portal windows.
Yeah.
And now at least they've smartened up to make 1 transfer portal window, and there's no, re-entry after the spring games. Trying to sit around and hit a win total in March, April, and May when rosters have not been finalized or even published by the schools made it impossible, because when you do returning production and you look at the transfer portal, it's like, I need to know how many of those yards are coming back, whatever category it's in. So, I'm glad that it's down to just 1 transfer portal, but it is still extremely hard. It's getting easier now that the COVID players are out. There's no more 6, 7-year seniors going on, the Diego Pavia stuff, So it's getting a little bit easier, but it's still massively harder than it was a decade ago.
You just made me so sad, because the amount of money line bets I've made on Diego Pavia in SEC games, a little tear came out of my eye. I'm going to miss him more than any player, I think, in college football. Let me ask you about those futures, because every year I follow you guys, and you always have 1 or 2 that get close enough to where you can hedge late. What's the team this year, or a couple teams for you? Are they in the Big 12? Is one of them Utah? What are you looking at early?
Well, I think I'll start with one. My very first fire was Alabama under 8.5.
Wow.
I think I'm going to be the only person in the world screaming this, but what has Alabama done in their offseason to improve their team?
Yeah.
Well, the offensive line isn't much better. They still have no running game, and now they're having a quarterback competition and 2 guys in there that couldn't win the job last year. I'll give Keelan Russell a little bit of a break. I mean, considering, he was a freshman last year, but still, at times you would have thought there would have been spots he could have come in and taken over games. We have seen freshmen in college football, say for Ohio State, come in and take over seasons. So why didn't it happen for Alabama? I don't think this Kalen DeBoer is going well, and we know the struggles they've had getting an NIL collective going with money, and I think that's all really going to fall on their head this year. Under 8.5 was one of I think it was plus money too.
Wow.
So we'll see where it goes, but I definitely like that one.
That's ballsy. I could not even make that just because it says Alabama on it. It's just it'd be hard.
Colin Wilson, Action Network, joining us right now on Unsportsmanlike Conduct. Colin, the team that I'm like that with, and granted, I really do not like this team, and so a lot of people are going to say, yeah, it's just because you don't like Ohio State. But man, I just look at that 9.5, and I look at the schedule especially, and look, I get it. They reload all the time. They are the Buckeyes. But gosh, they lost so much talent on that defense last year, and they were monsters. Like, how have you viewed that 9.5 number that's been floating out with them?
I'm actually over that. I mean, I have not talked. I've been very quiet. I've been trying to get through the College World Series before I start unleashing all my stuff.
Yeah,
I've got them a full win over that. And I think, they are very much in a reload situation this year. They don't have as soft of a schedule as you would say Penn State, which might be the softest schedule I've ever seen. But there's Michigan, there's Oregon, there's USC on there. They're away at Nebraska, away at Iowa. You never know, like if Iowa State was going to show up and not show up to those games. Indiana's on there too. So it's not the easiest schedule in the world. Texas also on there looking for some revenge. Which, by the way, sidebar, I think Texas is winning the national title if you guys want to go that route. But I do place them a little bit higher than everybody else, and I'm sure an over 9.5 is going to be in the cards for me.
You mentioned teams that have not weak schedules, but not as tough schedules. Notre Dame's obviously one of them. I think it was 11.5 for their win total. Thoughts on Notre Dame and the way their schedule sets up this year?
Oh, it's I've got them at 11.3, and I mean I'm staring at this schedule. Who can give them problems?
Yeah.
Well, 14 to 17 point favorites over Wisconsin, 9.5 point favorites over BYU, 9 point favorites, maybe 7 if you go by SP Plus over Miami. Who's beating this team?
I don't know.
They got a lot to replace. They got a lot to improve. I mean, CJ Carr is back, but what are they going to do from the running game perspective, which is what drove so much of the offense? And if they can replace that, I mean, they always have an NFL-ready offensive line, and if you depend on that, then there's a lot of these teams on this schedule that don't have the defensive line that can stop what they're doing, with the exception of maybe Miami. I mean, SMU, we'll see what they've got on the defensive line, but there's not a lot of teams here that can stop the rush.
Colin Wilson, Action Network, joining us right now on Unsportsmanlike Conduct. I'm curious, Colin, as to what you have, how you have viewed, rather, Texas Tech and everything that's been going on over the last few weeks. Finally, we have some answers, and of course, they lost some really good talent into the pros from last year's team. They were hoping to replace that with Sorsby. Do you think that they could be a team that maybe has a little bit of value, given that I think a lot of people are going to want to fade them now?
Yeah, for the Big 12, yes. And the reason is because they still have an all-world defense that's better than anything that's going on in the Big 12. And I really think without Sorsby, they kind of turn into what they had last year.
Yep.
And I don't really think it's that big of a downgrade. I mean, Sorsby was running about 5.5 points in my power ratings with or without him. And down to their backup, it didn't really affect them from a Big 12 perspective. Now, from a national perspective, I think it's a different story. I think they could make the college football playoff and probably end up last year like when Oregon just depantsed them in the playoffs. So, I think Texas Tech is on the track to do that exact same thing with an all-world defense from a Big 12 perspective. And I think Will Hammond's the backup quarterback. A 5-point drop in the power rating still makes you the best team in the Big 12. So I would look at them from a value perspective of the conference and not so much from a national title future.
Listening to you guys is baseball regionals. You didn't like Nebraska coming out of Lincoln. You're right about that. Let's talk about Nebraska football, though. We can't let you come on and not talk about it. Any feeling with Calandria taking over? They brought in new defense. They have as much difference than any other team, with new defensive line coach, new offensive line coach, new defensive everything. So much besides, except for their offensive coordinator and their head coach. Thoughts on Nebraska with a 6.5?
Well, I would agree that they need it. I make them 6.9, so I would like the over on that. But, I mean, I like Calandria, and frankly, I like him better on my team than I did Dylan Raiola.
Yep.
And I know there's a lot of Cornhuskers listening. Dylan Raiola was something, and Michael, I think we talked about this before. It's just the attitude, the pounding the ball on the ground after you get sacked or saying something to your offensive line like that. If I can see that on the TV, what's the chemistry like on the sideline in the locker room? So I'm even surprised Dylan Raiola is at Oregon taking a backup job. So I think I didn't really hear much about locker room, about politics, or about any of that. But if I can see it on the field, I don't think it's a bad thing that Calandria is in there. He's a very high variance. He can take off and run the ball quicker than anybody. He can throw the ball. I mean, I remember this stat from his days at Virginia 2 years ago. He had twice as many passes over 20 yards as he had behind the line of scrimmage. The kid's got D-ball arm, and I love it for Nebraska.
Colin Wilson joining us. All right, Colin, let's talk some College World Series, because as you posted, when was this? Yesterday, as Oklahoma was closing things out, you've liked this team going all the way back into the early part of the season, right? Pretty much right when the season started. They had some lean times, and then they have just been on an absolute tear, including going through Omaha so far at a 3-0 clip. Same thing with North Carolina. I mean, the obvious question, of course, is, are you going to hedge here? But what are your thoughts on what you have seen from the Sooners? Because they have been ridiculous.
Yeah, so the odds open up. They were a little late this year. Usually I see them in January, but they didn't open up until the middle of February. I saw one book open Oklahoma 75-1, and I thought, this is a really bad number. This is a team that's at least a 2 seed, right? I said, you can't put that at 7. So I hit 75-1, and then the next day, one of the bigger books and nationally opened them up at 90-1. I said, well, I've got to refire, right? And I got limited at both, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm good. 300 investment at OU. That's good for me. And then the season went along, and I was a little bit embarrassed that I had the ticket. I mean, I think they lost their final 5 series in the SEC. They were playing small ball. LJ McCurious was removed from the Friday night role. They had a couple of guys play the Friday and Saturday night role. and they just could not get a sound rotation. It was always being messed with, and I thought, well, this is a bad ticket. And then you know what happens? Skip Johnson decides we're going to go 3 freshman pitchers. We're going to switch the lineup a little bit, get lefty heavy in there. And this team is raking. They're hotter than the sun right now. Absolutely hot. And I don't even know how you equate that mathematically, because mathematically, I think North Carolina is short in the odds market. But if you've been watching the games, nobody is playing better ball than Oklahoma.
Right. In terms of you guys breaking down these games going in, what the hell is XFIP? You talked about XFIP a lot in terms of making your numbers and stuff. I don't even know what that is. Break down why it's important to you to determine the XFIP when you're doing this handicapping.
Yeah, it's independent fielding percentage, right? It's expected fielding independent pitching, and so what that means, it just measures what the pitcher does solely on what they can control. They can't really control errors that are not logged as errors. They can't control things that happen after it leaves their hand. And I think, to get more high level for everybody to understand, when you have an ERA, say, of 4, and I'll use North Carolina as an example, their team ERA is 3.9. Their xFIP is 5.4. So what that tells me is the ERA always regresses to the xFIP. So you look at OU, 5.2 ERA, 5.4 xFIP. That means the pitching that you see on the field is the pitching that you're always going to see. But if you see a massive 1.5 run difference like North Carolina between ERA and xFIP, there's regression. And it goes the other way too. There are some teams that got xFIPs in the 3s and team ERAs in the 5s, and that means they are due for good regression, and that's a good staff to back in the gambling investment market. So I use xFIP as a barometer of what I'm seeing on the field, is it real?
Colin Wilson, Action Network. Colin, you mentioned it earlier. You've been in CWS mode, but it is mid-June, so we're closing in on stuff. When do the preview season, when does all that get going for you guys?
So we will start recording podcasts in the middle of July, but don't worry. The second college baseball is over, I've got enough college football. It's going to be every day college football content coming out. I'm so excited for the season. I've just got to get over this hump of having an Oklahoma 90-1 on my plate.
I love all you guys' shows, but whenever you're with Breeze, there is nobody who I listen to in sports that's made me more emotional. When Breeze tells stories about his dad, and I know you have stories like that too, but when he tells stories about his dad, it just gets to me every time. I love listening to him just tell stories. I don't know how good his handicapping is, but his stories are outstanding. So just tell him I'm a big fan of his in Omaha.
I will make sure and let Calabrese know that we're actually going to do our college baseball pod championship round tonight. I wish I could tell the same stories, but I can't. Like, all the males, my father figures in my family passed with cancer, and that's the hat that I wear in my Twitter profile is actually their hat. So I wish I could tell these stories, but all I have is just pure Kansas City Royals memories from childhood.
There you go. I don't know what that.
Colin Wilson, Action Network. Colin, man, we really appreciate the time, even if I misspelled your name in the text last night. I imagine we'll be talking to you throughout the season. Thank you so much for joining us.
No problem. Talk to you guys soon.
Thanks, Colin. Appreciate it, man.
Colin Wilson joining us here on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. That's a good dude. We met him. You hooked us up with him last year in person. I think McMaster and I chatted with him.
He came for the Arkansas.
He could not have been nicer. Yeah. And then you guys talked to him throughout the year on the pregame show. And so, the
man loves his Razorbacks from Arkansas. Son's going to school there. He loves them. I sent him a little text. I'm like, sorry about your team. Because I enjoy when he comes because it's fun listening to him and stuff. But
for sure.
You like the Razorbacks? Love them.
I love them. Love them.
All right. When we return, I don't care. Get to I don't care. Also, some football stuff that Michael and I can get into in the happy hour. I don't care. Including some of the Nick, it's football stuff.
It doesn't feel good when it happens to you, does it?
It doesn't. Some football stuff that we can talk about. Also, Michael's going to have to get out of here in about an hour. So we'll also do content in the happy hour as well.
Is it just going to be me and you?
It's going to be me for like a half hour. It'll be fine.
You and I.
It'll be a good time, Nick. So we'll do that. We'll sing together.
We'll bring salvation back.
Oh, okay.
Let's just do karaoke for 15 minutes.
That sounds like a great time.
I'll be there.
For you? The lyrics
Where there's love, I'll be there.
All right. I'll look up the lyrics.
Jackson 5.
Okay. I never really listened to them. I apologize.
Well, hey, dude. I mean, weren't born yet when they
that's true.
broke up.
And,
so.
I'm out on Michael Jackson.
Hey, with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
Look at that. Handshake meme. All right. More to come. 1620 The Zone.
I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
I don't care.
I didn't kill my wife.
Nice. Good reference. I remember I hadn't seen that movie, and then Johnny and Tao gave me the DVD, and I didn't watch it for like a decade.
Wow.
Sorry, John.
That happened to me once.
Maybe
Somebody
not a
gave
decade, like 10
me
years, 5 years.
the Mel Gibson movie.
Patriot.
No, the one where he says,
Passion of the Christ.
"Freedom!"
Oh,
Braveheart.
yeah.
And I never watched it.
Yeah.
Josh gave
I've
me
never seen
season 1 of Mad Men, and I had that for like a year.
And
I
you
never
finally
watched
did it, didn't you?
Yeah, but I didn't watch
my
it.
Blu-ray. Yeah, you
I
watched
just
it on HBO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I gave the Blu-ray back to Lacey. She gave me the Blu-ray.
Oh,
for
yeah, it was
Braveheart.
her?
I never watched it. Yeah.
Shout out Lacey.
Yeah, Lacey.
I can't believe how old our kids are, man. Every time I see a photo, I'm like, my God.
I know.
That's how I got
Last
this
time
job.
I saw you, you were yay high.
Hey, seriously,
That's you.
Nick.
To a
pretty
June bug.
much. Pretty much. All right. I don't care. Let's
don't
begin with a
care.
listener. I don't care
Oh.
from Bad Takes Doug.
Okay.
I don't care about past. Oh no, he says I don't care. Past season ticket holders whine. Sorry, but your past season tickets to Husker games are not shares of stock. You got your seat now. Your loyalty and commitment has zero value going forward. If there is a market with a higher price today for your seats, then the University of Nebraska has to recognize that. There is no mechanism to accommodate you for past purchases with below market prices today. Again, you are not holding shares of stock that appreciated in value.
Yes. Thank you for helping me over at Costco. Bad Takes Doug. But that's a horrible take.
God, that guy.
That's a horrible take.
He
That's
loves having
it's
bad
called,
takes.
It's called
That's
insensitive.
why we call him that.
It's a bad take.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a sports fan even, Doug? What are you doing? But thanks again for helping me get in the car.
All right, I don't care. So this is somewhat College World Series related, and I don't want to say anything that's going to get me in trouble, but I just don't care about weird, goofy food menu items.
Oh, Josh, they're so good.
I'd rather have a burger. Just give me a.
They have burgers.
I know. I don't. I just.
Then
don't
you can
need-
get tachos.
I don't need all the weird stuff.
Tachos are
I don't need
excellent.
all the
They're really
weird.
good.
Really
Hey,
You should
we
get
have
the new tachos.
we have a
so
10-pound hamburger, but that's too many
Tachos
pounds.
is so for people.
Well, the point is to share it,
Yeah, you
Josh.
share
You're
it.
not eating all 10 pounds
It's
of the meat.
messy. You're at a baseball
It's
game.
$24.
What do you have? A giant plate?
You share it. Yes.
How?
You cut it. You can have them cut it in half.
Okay, Josh, if you're the type of person who can afford the 10-pound hamburger, you're also in a suite.
And then
All right?
Okay.
You're not eating a
You're on the
10-pound
suite
hamburger.
floor.
I don't
Yeah,
care.
exactly.
I don't care. I see all the photos.
The
Darren
tachos
Ravel.
are
Hey, look,
outstanding.
They're really
look at
good.
this, it's $12.
I'm not a big tater tot guy. I
You
love
aren't?
Tachos.
I
No.
love tater tots.
I prefer
Bad
fries to
Bad
tater
takes,
tots.
Nick.
I
mean,
like
that's-
I like potatoes in general,
Yeah.
but you take frozen tater tots.
Oh,
You take bacon.
oh.
You take cheese
Oh.
and green chili, and you just put it in aluminum
Wow,
foil
that sounds
and
awesome.
stick that baby in the oven for about 45 minutes. And we call it hot tots casserole. Our friends call it hot bitch tot because it was a
Say
mistake
bitch.
at a table.
Yeah.
But anyway, they're incredible.
I think my aversion to tater tots comes from after the divorce.
Here's
Tater-
Nick. Here's
You
some
had a
tater
divorce?
tots.
Tater tot casserole, nice. Tater tot casserole was like the one thing my dad knew how to make before he learned how to make other things as a single
okay.
father.
That's
All right.
understandable.
So I just had a lot
You
of
had a
tater
lot
tot
of it. You had
casserole.
okay. I didn't have it until I was much older. So
Mhm.
yeah, but I do love it.
Mm.
My turn.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't care
the World Cup again.
what the damn Europeans
Why are you doing it
when
like
they
Jeff
come over
Foxworthy?
here acting like things are incredible when they come to our country. I don't care. I know our country's better than your country. I know everything is better here except for
Whoa.
health care and the interstates and time off for women who've had babies.
Everything.
The
I understand.
reflection pool.
But everything else here involving food, because I've been all over this world.
Yeah.
Our food is better. You know how I know it's better? They come all the way over here to get some crap ranch to bring it back to put it on their crap food over there in Europe.
Hey.
So I know their food sucks.
I saw a photo that came out from the last week, and I'm trying to remember what restaurant they went to, and they were like, "Guys, I have
Taco Bell."
No, it wasn't that. It was something where it was like mac and cheese, and it was like my life has changed.
Was it Boston Market?
It might have been Boston. Market.
Boston Market.
And I was like, they were like, "This is the best thing that I've ever eaten."
I just saw one from a guy who he's from Sweden or Switzerland or something, and he had just tried Casey's Pizza for the first time. He's
Yeah,
on
I
his
just
way
saw
to
that one
Chicago.
too, yeah.
He's like, egg and pizza shouldn't go together, but it does. And I'm like, you're welcome.
I
Here's
An
the-
Iowa delicacy.
Here's the thing. A lot of them are just using puffery. They have a lot of the same stuff over there.
Yeah.
Sure.
They just do.
Mhm.
They act like they're seeing it for the first time, but they've seen it. They've got big gas stations over there in some of the places. They do more stuff with cheese and bread than any place in the world, right? So a lot of them are just trying to get some clicks.
Some
I
likes
get it.
and retweets.
I get it. And you got a lot of great stuff, the free health care and the transportation and the prenatal care and all that stuff.
Here's a question for you, Michael. Would you rather have all of those things or the really good food? You can have free health care, a better train system, better way to get around.
A train system.
That's a transportation. I got it written down.
All of those things or the food that we have.
All of those things because I can cook anything else I want to make.
Yeah, I think that
I can cook pretty much whatever you want me to eat.
I think you should probably move to Europe.
I would listen.
European Michael.
Not Europe. We have looked at a couple different countries where we have thought about moving to.
Yeah.
If things fall apart.
Iceland.
After watching Civil War, we started thinking about places.
Love that movie.
And you got to go to places that are friendly to America. And so one of the places we looked was Belize.
Oh, okay.
A lot of Americans go to Belize. They have the bank account stuff, transfers really easy. So Belize is one place we
What's the
looked at.
time difference? Could you still be a Monday regular?
I think it's only like an hour difference.
Perfect.
I think. Yeah.
All right. Mondays with Michael.
We thought about Belize.
Nick?
I got a big one.
Oh.
I've thought about it a lot.
All right.
I don't care about banana ball.
Thank God.
Dude.
I can't believe that you said that, honestly.
Dude.
That seems like something dumb you would love.
I did. And then the more it's gone on and the more I don't like it
It got too
anymore.
popular for you.
I think that is part of it.
Classic Nick.
But I mean, the whole it happening at the same time of the College World Series kind of soured me because that feels intentional to try to draw people away from this event. And I'm over it. I'm just over it now.
Proud of you. Awesome. That is so good. All the worst parts of sports media get into the Savannah Bananas, and I'm way out.
They're
on that.
right there, my muted words.
Yeah, good
They're
call.
dominating the moody.
I like the idea of it at first, but it's just I think it's jumped.
You're getting older, Nick.
I think it's jumped to the banana.
Listen, I watched Harlem Globetrotters many times as a kid. Watched them from when I was like 3 years old. Last time I think I went, we took the boys over to the Mac Center maybe 10 years ago. I love it. It was great. It's done. I don't need to watch it on the baseball.
I think it should have stayed in moderation. It shouldn't have gone to ESPN, and it shouldn't have become this big televised thing. I think it's too much too fast.
Peter writes in on the Liquid Trucking Zone Twitter feed, hashtag I don't care, that pedestrians have the right of way. If you are walking in a parking lot aisle, move to one side so cars can get by you. Inconsiderate and annoying.
That was on my irrational thing about 3 weeks ago.
That's a good one.
Pedestrian crossing?
Where they are so
he's saying in the parking lot.
In the parking lot. They're looking on their phone, right? And they have the right of way in a parking lot. They're looking down at their phone and they're just kind of meandering away. Move to one side.
Yeah, I always try to be as close to a car as possible.
Yeah, don't walk down the middle.
Yeah, that's my goal for that.
Can I get all the details in these hot bitch tots? I will send you the recipe.
They do sound really
Sorry,
good.
Europe, you don't have that, but you got your health care. What would you rather have, the hot bitch tachos or health care?
I would think, you know how much money we've spent on just miles?
Yeah.
We at least $1 million easily in.
We enrolled today, and I was like, oh, man.
You know how much my insurance is a month?
I would be afraid to know.
$4,082 a month.
Great country, though, Michael.
We can't have
the greatest.
We don't have group because I'm the only employee, so you can't have group health care. So I'm on there, and it doubled this year. They sent us a bill where it literally doubled. Yeah, not great. Not great.
All right. Well, you know what? I actually feel okay about mine, I guess.
Yes.
All right. When we return, let's see. It'll be time for the happy hour. We barely talked any football today. And
damn
Nick,
it.
We need to
I see something that
says
some questions about Husker football. This is right here.
That's where this topic was going to
good.
go. The some questions about Husker football are going to go right in our very next segment. Also, we will get to some unsportsmanlike content coming up in this, and then you have to leave early.
I do have to leave
because you have to go do another sports thing.
Very far away podcast.
The podcast is further away than it used to be.
Yes, it is.
It used to be a lot closer.
It's actually called the Further Away Than It Used to Be podcast.
You also
long title.
You also like being alone, so I bet you like being in your car after the show because you could just be
I don't
alone.
mind that, but this drive straight down Dodge is a long drive.
Yeah.
And I don't know what traffic's going to be like.
It's going to be annoying.
Sometimes it is.
You're
Yeah.
going to be annoying.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully Schaefer shows up late, so then
Well,
later than
the guest. I want the guest to be there.
God, yeah, that's true. All right. All that and more when we return here on Unsportsmanlike Conduct 1620 The Zone. The happy hour is on the air. Josh Peterson, Michael Severe, Nick Grimm. Reminder, we'll be back at the Omaha Baseball Village on Saturday, on Sunday, and maybe on Monday. We will have free stuff at our table, including Sunbelt Bakery granola bars. 10 Wallies, you can get a coupon for a free scoop of ice cream. Scoop. Also, a coupon for free hash holes from Early Bird.
The hash holes are good.
Oh, they are indeed. So stop on by and see us. And also, we want to remind you to go to 1620thezone.com. You can register to win a variety of contests, including Post Malone, the Black Keys, Young the Giant, and other bands that Nick really loves.
Every time they read that, every time you read the whole thing, and they say scoop, I always think Scoop killed Michael Jackson.
It's a scoop up.
Scoop
Nick,
killed Michael Jackson.
Search Scoop in the segue and see if we have any. There was a drop that you guys used to play. You guys used to play that all the time because she would. Oh my! What's this? Let's see what. Let's
Scoop
play
killed
it.
Michael
Nick.
Jackson.
Let's find out what this is.
Chocolate chip peanut butter cookie dough. Scoop. There it is.
Do you remember that drop at all?
I do remember that.
Wow, that's funny.
I do remember that.
That's the only scoop-related drop we
have. The scoop up drop got deleted.
Scoop up is gone.
Well, that's too bad.
Yeah.
That's too bad. Well, welcome back into the Grum. It is the happy hour. Michael's going to be leaving in a little bit because he has a podcast to record. If you've missed what we have done before, this very moment in time, we've had a great conversation. We talked about reseeding earlier. We had Robin watch it. You had a list of things that annoy you. We talked a little Sorsby, had Colin Wilson on from the Action Network, and then many things that I wanted to get to today, and then we're just not going to have time for. So that's a bummer.
When you guys had me on that the last time with talking about Sorsby,
it
worked out just like I thought it would.
You nailed it. You were like, he's not going to play.
I didn't think it had anything to do with the courts. I thought eventually you're just going to have people that going, this is too
bullying.
much.
Bullying still works
because you can't. The conference couldn't let it happen.
You suck.
I personally thought that Texas Tech couldn't let it happen first. Then I thought, you have big teeth?
When I shaved my beard a few years ago, and then they were like, your teeth are huge.
Oh,
I have some
old,
there's some old movie clubs
Mr.
with
Ed
freshly shaven Josh, freshly shorn Josh.
I didn't like that.
Mr. Ed.
I lost a bet to Nick.
I thought multiple things would happen before they got to court. I thought Texas Tech might change their mind and realize where they were. I thought the Big 12 would, and then I thought maybe overall conference NCAA college football would say, listen, we're not playing you. Something got. It eventually became the Big 12.
You nailed it. So those are the things that you missed. You can go find them. Wherever you get podcasts.
Yeah,
we call them radio replays still for some reason. All right. So we've said it a few times today, and it's nice to say it once again. Michael,
football!
They tried to cancel it. You know, people always talk about cancel culture and Christmas and that you're not allowed to say Merry Christmas anymore. Nope. Well, I work with two yahoos at this station that don't want me to say it's football season.
It's because it's not football
But
season.
now we can say it loud and proud. It is football season. What are we going to talk about?
The College World Series isn't even over.
It'll be over in 3 days. What are we going to talk about that?
And 2 of the days are a weekend. So
what are we going to talk about?
MLB and golf.
We are not going to talk about Major League Baseball on a daily basis.
Tennis.
We're not going to talk about tennis.
What's wrong with Major League Baseball? Seriously, this is being serious.
Okay,
there's just too much of it.
Way too much.
And if you're really into it, you miss other things. Connor Happer has missed so many things in his life because he watched so much baseball.
Oh, good
so
call.
many times Connor's like, oh, I didn't see that. I go, because you watch baseball. You could have seen all this stuff. You could have experienced all this stuff. You could have lived a much fuller life.
Yeah,
but instead, you were watching so much baseball.
You barely watch baseball. You like baseball, but you don't watch it that much. And thus your life, you're able to do things.
You can do stuff.
Like record a Formula One Friday podcast on Wednesdays.
It's going to be on Tuesday next week.
See, exactly. You're able to do that. You watched all of Mad Men. Happer doesn't watch TV shows.
Yeah, he watched too much baseball.
Too much baseball. See, you live a perfect amount of baseball life.
It's all about a life baseball balance.
You barely watch it, but I watch football.
I really love listening.
Anyway, it's June 18th. It's football season. So I had a few Husker things written down for you.
All right.
The first one. Now, you teased this earlier that maybe, do you know what's happening on Saturday or were you just joking? Do we know what's being announced?
Bud Crawford is retired.
Okay.
I was joking.
I don't know. Just wanted to make sure. All right.
But if that happened, it'd be funny, wouldn't it?
Do we have any guess on what this is? Is it going to be something that we're actually excited for? Or is it going to be like, we got a donation?
Wouldn't it be crazy if he was fighting Conor McGregor?
Wouldn't that be crazy? You stop
wild.
saying these things.
So
get your Saint shirt on.
They decided that the cost to redo Memorial is actually too much, so they're going to bulldoze it and build a new stadium in Gretna.
Do not bulldoze it. Dynamite, baby. The video would be amazing.
I've always said
bulldoze it.
They should take big bulldozer. They should take donations to let people do the plunger.
I agree, Nick.
It's one button now.
Then you could allow the
I wish they still had that. I only have the buttons now.
You could allow the basketball season ticket holders to keep their seats by doing this giant donation for
blowing
button
up the
pushing.
stadium.
Yep, exactly.
Don't blow up the stadium, people.
So they're going to make some announcement.
Yes, they are.
In the end, you know what? I could have put this in the segment earlier. I don't care, but I ended up asking you about it anyway. All right, here are questions that I have written down about Nebraska football as we get closer and closer to the season starting. What position group battles are going to be decided? Early August is what I wrote down, but I guess in August. And which ones dip into the season? Like, what stuff are we going to be like, yeah, I got a pretty good feel on that one. And which ones are we going to be going into September still like, I don't know.
The second corner spot is going to go a while.
Okay.
Right. So Andrew Marshall starting. I think the backup is going to be the freshman. Right. So then you move to the other side. And it was Jeremiah Charles, right? There was Sanders is behind him. There's a lot of, I think that corner spot is going to battle all the way through fall camp.
Okay.
And maybe even into the season. I think that's one. The running back one, I believe it's a lot closer between Nelson and Mosey than most people think. I think that's going to go through fall.
I was going to ask you.
And the first snap, I remember a few years ago, we were trying to figure out who the first snap was going to be. And I remember guessing it was going to be Ramir Johnson was going to be the first snap. It's going to be something like that. I don't believe that we're actually going to know who the number one running back is until we're through a couple of games.
Okay.
Those are the two main ones.
Interesting. I'm happy that you said that about running back because that is the one that I feel really confident is going to go a little bit. I think that it's going to dip into the season.
And maybe even, so how deep are we talking wide receivers, right? So I think we know the top three wide receivers.
For sure.
I think the fourth and fifth one, there's some questions there.
Definitely. Okay, so you made reference earlier to Bill Connolly's Big Ten preview, which came out earlier this week. So here's what I wrote. How much improvement is possible within the Big Ten's middle class? That was a question that he posed because it's a very tiered conference right now where you have this obvious three and then a step down of these teams that are like trying to inch into, if the Big Ten is able to get 4 or dare I say 5 teams into the playoff. I think you have that next group. And then you have this very, very healthy middle class, which Nebraska is on the low point of that middle class. And so how much movement can there be? And then the follow-up would be, where does Nebraska fit into that level of movement we could see?
Well, some of those teams in the middle, I think, could really surprise. Now, Washington really struggled on the road last year. We know that. People bring up the fact that their quarterback was going to leave, and the kids don't care about that stuff. They really don't. Jack, they don't care about that stuff. But so that's a team that could be anywhere from like 4 to 9.
Mm-hmm.
I really think they could be as high as 4.
I'm with you on.
They
Washington.
could be high as 4. Michigan's probably going to be that 4 spot, but they could be. Then there's a couple other teams. I think Illinois takes a big step back. That's just me. I think that's what happens to them. But they could be, right?
Yeah.
USC, and you know how much I like Maeva. After the first 3 or 4 games with Lincoln Riley, you could see how much better he was.
I am
UNLV.
in on USC.
And
their schedule's hard.
It's a hard schedule. I think they can win 9 games.
I do too.
Right?
I do too.
Which one of those teams from the middle can get to 10? Can any of them? Also, by the way, Indiana, we're just throwing them in there because they won a national championship. I get it. I wouldn't be surprised if they take a step back.
Well, I mean, a step back for them.
I know the first 6 games.
It'll be like 9-3.
Yeah, 9-3, but that's a huge step back coming off of 16-0.
For them, for sure. Because if you're 9-3, then it's like, oh, are you a playoff team? You know, that's a conversation we're having if you get down to 9-3.
But I think there's Washington is one team. USC would be another. Iowa. I gotta see the quarterback.
Yeah,
I've got to see.
Like literally, he might be behind people, and you're like, "Where is he?"
I got to see who they have taken snaps at quarterback is the thing.
I find myself talking myself out of Iowa because I have been in on them throughout much of this offseason, and now I'm just getting so spooked by the quarterback position, and it's like the
running back position is going to be solid.
Yeah, and
the defense is going to always be good.
Yeah,
we know that
sure.
The tight end's going to be better this year than it's been in the last couple of years. So they've got all the components.
They were so close to being a team that was squarely in the playoff mix last year, and they lost like every game by 2 or 3 or 4 points.
The game against Oregon. I mean, they shouldn't lose that game.
Should have won that game. Yeah. They had an early lead against USC, and that game was kind of back and forth, if I remember right. And what's the other one in there? Iowa State. I mean, like, think about those 3 games alone.
Well, USC was 2 bad calls by Lincoln Riley in the rain away from being in the college football playoff.
So,
and he may do the same thing. But yeah, I do love that middle. Illinois is a question. Iowa, Washington.
You mentioned Michigan. Bryce Underwood is so fascinating to me because I just don't think he's very good. And on the other hand, they had a head coach who was obviously very distracted.
He was doing other things.
Yeah, he had a couple things going on.
Okay, we got to remember this. He was 18.
I know.
He was 18 years old with an offensive line that was struggling for most of the season. Mm-hmm. All of their running backs, all of them Not the first one, not just the second one. The third, they all got hurt.
Mhm.
So all of a sudden he's playing, and he's playing with one wide receiver. I thought the one transfer from Indiana was a pretty good Macaulay, whatever his name was. He's gone. But they're going to be better talent-wise than they were last year. They have to be. That going to mean they're going to win 9 games? I don't know. But I don't think it was all on Bryce Underwood.
Yeah, I am.
You got to use his legs more, by the way, too.
You know me. I like Michigan. And I like Kyle Whittingham, and yet I just find myself bearish on them right now. Just like, are we sure that they're going to be like, I don't know.
I hate the fact that you like Michigan.
I know. I'm sorry. I lived there. I lived in Grand Rapids.
It's such a horrible.
Go Blue. You got to pick a side.
The whole damn state of Michigan.
Yeah, I know.
The whole damn state of Michigan.
I just don't like the Eastern time zone. Otherwise, the state's pretty cool. Let's see. What did I have written down next? Okay, so we were talking about this. I think
Have you lived in a mountain?
I think what?
Have you lived in Mountain?
No, but I would
Mountain's
love to.
awesome.
I would love to live in Mountain.
Mountain's
Time
awesome.
Zone. Yeah,
I love Mountain.
Applied for a job in Denver one time.
I do remember.
Okay, so we mentioned Bill Connolly earlier.
Yeah.
I can't remember if this was an on or off-air conversation, but he has the rankings of everybody. Nebraska's kind of where you figure they'd be 40th
9,
overall.
right?
In conference, yes.
8 or 9.
Yeah, but the number that I wanted to throw your way was where he had the offense, defense, and special teams. So, and this is projecting to this season.
Sure, right.
Offense 49, defense 38, special teams 69. Very good number, by the way, as you would say. Thank you very much, Nick.
They were 69 last year, weren't they?
I thought that the one that I was looking at was his projection
I
for
thought
this
he
year.
put it 69 last year. That's what I didn't understand.
So last year was 69. The
Yeah.
offense was 57. The defense was 44. But he is projecting the special teams to be in the exact same spot.
How could it be 69 last year?
That's one where I get confused sometimes with special teams.
Let me give you this. So this is what they are. They were, so the 69 is where he had them.
Mm-hmm.
Punt return efficiency, 6th in the country. Kickoff return efficiency, 3rd in the country. Kickoff return coverage, 17th. Strength of opponent, special teams units faced, 9th.
Oh, wow. Is this FEI?
Yes,
What
this
are
is
you
all
looking at?
FEI. But then FEI, they do a thing where they have it combined with FEI and SP Plus together.
Yeah.
It's 16.
Mm-hmm.
So how is it such a difference where it's 5 with FEI and it's 69?
Yeah, it's a great question.
I don't get it.
So we obviously disagree with that number. Like, what do we think about the offense being 49th? And this is projecting.
Offense, so I was listening to a conversation that Connor and Mitch were having, and they were saying, who's going to carry the team? And
good question.
I still believe that because of what Calandre is, they're going to be incredibly explosive offensively. Against the teams they play like Oregon, Indiana, the good offensive line teams, and Oregon's offensive line's only got 2 returning starters, but still, Indiana, Ohio State, even Illinois' and Iowa's offensive line, that's when that offense is going to have to make plays. The defense is going to have to win the game in those games.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have to keep them close so the offense can make some late plays. But all the rest of the games, I think the offense leads the way.
Let me ask you this about Calandre, because I remember a decade ago, you and I weren't working together anymore. You were at the paper. But Tanner Lee, like I remember having conversations with you about him, and you were like, turnovers, too many turnovers, too many turnovers.
Yep.
And then he came to Nebraska, too many turnovers. Is there a world where something similar like that happens with Calandre?
Remember, it wasn't just turnovers. He had never thrown for 60% completion rate.
That's
going back to
terrible.
high school.
I think, honestly, that offseason and talking to you was the thing that beat into my head completion percentage. And now quarterbacks have gotten even more efficient.
Yeah.
So when I see a quarterback that hovers around 60 in college, I'm like, no way.
So it's 2 things. One could be the offense designed on a lot of risky throws.
Mm-hmm.
They're throwing the ball over 20 yards a lot, so you're going to have a lower completion percentage.
Mm-hmm.
But Tanner Lee was playing in offenses where they got rid of the ball quick, and he still didn't have one.
Not great.
So that's what I worried about him. No, I have all the concerns in the world, more about the fumbles than the interceptions, because I don't believe you can get better if you're a fumbler. I think you can,
especially if you're running a lot
through the sky and the sacks, the amount of sacks he had. I over his career, sack wise, I added them up and I was shocked. So Calandre is sacks total in 33 games. How many sacks do you think he's taken?
Well, given the way that you're talking about it, it's going to be a high number. So I'll say like 2.3 per game. So what would that be? Like
85
70?
of them.
Wow.
It's 2.5 a game. And we thought that Raiola took a lot, right? 54 in 22 games, 2.4.
Uh-huh.
So actually fewer.
Wow.
And it was bad.
Yeah.
9 in one game. We all remember that.
Yeah.
So I'm more concerned about him being a fumbler than I am, because I think you can scheme around the interceptions.
Yeah.
You have to get into his head. Don't try to make this throw. We're going to get you some easy throws. We're going to do this. We're going to get you out of the pocket, some waggle stuff. But in terms of him holding on the ball when he gets hit, that's what he hasn't been able to do.
It's almost like, I guess here's a question for you. Would you be okay with the interceptions if they come off of the plays that just get kind of loosey-goosey and he's having to move around a little bit. Yeah, versus like a traditional, like a Tanner Lee. I mean, his interceptions
pick six.
They were all traditional because he couldn't really, I mean, he had a little mobility maybe, but that over, just being a normal interception.
Yeah, it's like basketball, right? So the turnover really doesn't hurt you unless it's a live ball turnover that turns right around into 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
If it's one of those interceptions where it ends up being a punt or as good as a punt, that's fine. It's the interceptions that are pick sixes or that happen inside your 40-yard line
or inside of their 40-yard line. Yeah. I mean, I guess
I really worry. I worry about the fumbles because he's been consistent, not losing, but just fumbling the ball. Because when you fumble the ball, usually that means you're going to burn that possession.
Mm-hmm.
Every possession you lose. Your defense.
There are all those
more.
stats, right? Where it's like a fumble on a drive. I mean, it's like a penalty, even if you recover it, because it's going to, unless you're moving down the field or the fumble happens after you gained a first down.
It's like a sack, a penalty, and a fumble usually kill drives.
Yeah,
that's what worries me more than anything else. I think they can, and it also worries me what Holgerson's going to call. Like, how is he going to build this offense to take advantage of what Calandria does? Because he hasn't shown us. Really, in the last 15 years of being a head coach, that he can scheme great offense again. He only really had 4 total years at West Virginia and Houston where I would say he was a top 25 offense.
And how long ago was that?
The last year he was at West Virginia, he was like 18th.
And what was that, 2018?
And then the one total year at Houston, he was top 25. He just hasn't had it. So I want to see how he schemes it, how much they use the run game. Because the run game should get better if your quarterback is putting pressure and you got to account for him.
Yeah.
It should get
11
better.
on 11.
Better than it was last year. So I want to see that. How much they use the middle of the field. That's a huge part. And as Colin Wilson says, Calandria throws the ball down the field.
Yeah.
He's going to stretch the field. It's not like Dylan.
It's going to be a much different looking offense.
I remember Dylan had 4, I was tracking this, 4 weeks in a row. He had 2 completions over 20-yard passes out of like 15 attempts. That's crazy to think about.
Yeah. It absolutely is.
Just he could not throw the ball downfield accurately. The Minnesota game, he lost the Minnesota game because he couldn't throw the ball downfield.
Well, I remember in the Ohio State game in 2024, there was, I think it was Banks maybe it was bottom right of the screen. So they were moving that left to right and he overthrew Banks. And it was like, man, that could have been a touchdown right there.
Yeah. Well, he missed his roommate twice in the Minnesota game. How do you miss your roommate?
Yeah, those are the guys you should be closest to.
Right.
Steve writes on the text line, Calandria is going to be clowned by Big Ten defenses. In addition, he's being coached by a has-been OC and a mediocre quarterback coach. You and I have talked about Calandria for months, and we will continue to talk about him in the next 2.5. But, man, there are like things to love about last year from him, right? He took a massive step forward. So you talk about the natural maturation of a quarterback, but he had Dan Mullen. And, I look at that and I say, how much of it is just like level of competition and Dan Mullen versus him? How much of what happened with him can he take here and apply to this
I think a lot
team?
of it's competition. I mean, I've said this many times. He played the 115th strongest defense in terms of the entire schedule, opposed to playing a top 25, which he did at Virginia and we play here. Talking about Kenneth in that USC game, I always understand this is a Notre Dame conversation. You go back and you rewatch that game. You're talking about the fourth quarter. The game's tied, and they run a stupid play where they try to run a reverse pass.
We use that
in the rain
when we previewed the Nebraska USC game a couple weeks later.
In the rain, he did that. Yeah. If USC just keeps playing, they were running the ball successfully. Iowa was having success. That's giving the game away by doing something as a coach.
Yeah.
Again, and by the way, USC has a tough schedule. They do. Go look at what they have talent-wise this year.
Yeah, they have the number 1 recruiting
They're
class in the country.
as talented of a team
excuses.
now as anybody in the Big Ten. That includes Ohio State and Oregon.
Seems like a put up or shut up here. This is kind of a Calandria one because Connolly finished his Nebraska preview by writing this. This is clearly going to be a solid team, but unless Calandria has another gear or Orich is an absolute magician, a ranking in the 30s feels about right. Which of those is more likely to you? Calandria having another gear in 2026 or Rob Orich being an absolute magician with the defensive side of the ball?
Rob Orich, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's a better chance because there's so many unknowns. I talked about this in terms of variables, right? When you're betting on teams, you always want to put your biggest money on the team that has those crazy variables because what's going to happen is they're going to be a big plus money. They're going to be getting lots of points. But if 2 or 3 things go well in that, if it goes like we think it's going to go with the defensive line because he's gotten pressure. Back when he was a defensive ends coach, before he took over as defensive coordinator, they got more pressure. If you look at what they're going to do with right now, their linebackers are much more athletic than they were last year. So I think that'll help. If they get pressure, your linebackers play well. Andrew Marshall's going to be solid, right? whatever happens on that side. And their safety play is incredibly deep. They have 3 guys who I think could be really good nickels. I think it's a better chance that Orich is the guy that saves them in some games. Because he's had success his first year at other places too.
That's the thing I like most. That's the thing I like. But competition, when you grade it versus competition, I know Bartu had a lot of those numbers when Nebraska first hired him, where it was like, yeah, he's playing this level of competition, but he's also it supports what he's been able to do.
Yeah, it does. And that's the same thing when you talk about what Calandre has to do. The offensive line has to play at a level where it allows him to be the playmaker that he can be.
Yeah.
You got 5 guys. 109
starts,
of
experience.
109 starts, all those snaps, all of the Power 4 competition. I would look at all the teams in the Big Ten.
Yeah,
in the Big Ten. Nobody had more Power 4 as many snaps as Nebraska has. A lot of people brought up people from James Madison or wherever else, but not like everybody's. I mean, you got Kansas State. You got all these teams where they played a good competition before. So if they give him the time, allow him to be a playmaker, and Holgorsen stays out of the way, that's a big part of it. Stay out of the way.
Man, Nick, isn't this a great conversation? It's football season again.
I've just read that nearly 160 troops in the Air Force have the flu. And then 2 months ago, it was mandated that they didn't have to have the flu vaccine.
Thank you, Nick. That I don't know what that has to do with football, but we were
nothing. I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, okay. Appreciate
so
it.
Here's the quote from that article. It says, things obviously aren't going poorly. 2 straight winning seasons after 9 straight sub 500 seasons is by definition solid.
Yeah.
I know the word solid. I've heard the word solid before.
You don't think that's solid?
I've had ice.
Yeah.
They're not solid. But Rule and the Huskers enter year 4 with a strange sense of stagnation.
I agree.
That is true.
Yeah.
Coordinator Dana Holgorsen has made the offense fun.
I would not agree.
For who?
Yeah. Defenses.
Not for people watching the game.
I have hated
Who
it.
did he make? He threw that damn screen until they just finished going, oh, that's all you got. We're going to stop it.
I hate watching the Dana Holgorsen offense.
Would you say the Huskers are coming into the season so stagnant that they're going to get malaria from all the mosquitoes?
Nice, Nick.
I would certainly say that they're not solid based off what we see.
We just got a text from someone. More talk about how bad Dana was.
Oh, Mike.
Yeah, of course it was.
Rule replaced Raiola with a flawed but incredibly enjoyable transfer.
You would agree?
I think he is enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's flawed.
And he's flawed.
No, and he's a transfer.
And he's a transfer.
There's no argument at all about
It's
anything
all
he said
factual.
about Calandria.
Yeah, all those things are true.
And he accidentally bought a Nebraska shirt.
And he bought him.
Steve writes, and we'll do this and then we'll get to content. Do you two think Rob Orich is really going to call the defense? Or will it be Matt Rule and Phil Snow micromanaging the D like they have the last 3 years?
Matt Rule has never called defense.
There you go.
And by the way, never called the offense. Everybody who says to me, I can't wait till you start seeing Dana run his offense, that was his offense.
Yeah. People just don't want the guy to be cooked. Like that's the thing. If it's not Rule that's doing it, it means that the guy who's doing it is not good anymore. And that's just a bummer. And so people just don't want to say that.
Snow is giving suggestions based off of film that he's watching. We had a conversation with a guy who coached under Bo Pelini, who had the same situation where he watched film and gave suggestions about special teams. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're a defensive coordinator and you can't handle that, that's on you. Because now it's not like it used to be, where it's just one guy running everything. Now you got 15 guys who are all on the payroll just there to help you. Take the help.
Yeah.
It wasn't Snow that ran Tony White out of here. It was Tony White running himself out of here.
Speaking of help, this is where we need Nick's help because he has to read sentences.
Oh, no.
And then you've been doing a good job at reading lately, Nick.
What?
He's been doing a good job at reading. Yeah. So,
I'm sorry. I've been listening to Joey.
Pressure. Joey will get there. Joey, we believe in you.
Zone producers just can't read. It's hard for us.
Even Stibb struggled from time to time.
I don't
You're
believe
right. Yeah. You guys do suck at reading. I don't know what it is. To work at the Zone, bad food takes, and being terrible at reading.
It's true.
Nick, let's do it.
Nice.
Nope. Remember, we're doing it here. We are doing it right
here.
now.
That's right. I knew that. I knew that.
Right now.
Unsportsmanlike Unsportsmanlike content.
Unsportsmanlike content. Content that's unsportsmanlike. Because Michael has to leave.
That's right.
At 5:30, which I said in that segment, but you were reading about malaria.
No, the flu.
The flu.
Man,
He was reading about the flu. Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Flu vaccinated.
I get vaccinated every
It's
day.
because you're smart,
And
Michael.
It makes my
You ever see me
armpit
get sick?
itchy.
You see me get sick? Have
No.
you seen me get sick?
But part of that is you're just like an Iron Man. I remember one time you came to work and we had to tell you to go home because you were wearing sweats and you never wear sweats. We were like, Michael, you're sick. Go home. And you're like, fine, I'll go home.
Yeah. I also get my shots.
You also get your shots. That's important.
So you get a shot and you don't get sick.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Interesting.
And it's not for every single one of the different variants. We understand that.
Almost 4 years after Nike signed Caitlin Clark to a shoe deal, the superstar finally has her first shoe.
Wow.
What the hell took so long?
Wow. Is she the one that designed it? Is that why?
No, it's Nike for whatever reason just didn't roll it out.
Is that why they fired 2,000 people?
That's a great question.
Yeah,
the
money.
Dan Wetzel, guy that you've talked to from time to time on Sportsmanlike Conduct.
We've had arguments.
Yes, I was going to say he wrote a really interesting piece about it. Yes, since they signed her in 2022, their stock is down over 70%. I guess that's since 2021.
Yeah.
A loss of about $200 billion in valuation.
Yep.
Its price is off nearly 50% since they first signed Clark, trading at a price available way back in 2014. There are a lot of theories.
And they fired 2,000 people.
They fired a lot of people. There's a lot of theories in this story. Wetzel ultimately didn't land on one in particular. And so it's just very confusing as to why it's happened.
Nike was very much like ignoring his questions. Like, oh, but look at it. Look how cool they look.
Yeah. I mean,
I do like them.
In terms of overall athletes that have popularity,
yeah.
Is she the most divisive? Was LeBron as divisive as she is?
Yeah.
Really? Because there are people I don't remember.
I hated LeBron back in the
Okay,
day.
you did. So that's what it.
It's because he wasn't
in terms of not liking someone because of the way they play, I get.
Yeah.
But like people hate her because of her humanity, because she's human. Like they're like, I just hate her.
Yeah.
Like why? I just hate her.
Yeah, they don't really have a good reason.
There's no, and I understand. She shoots a lot and she misses a lot of shots and she turns the ball over a lot. I get all of that. But she is one of the most dynamic women's players I remember since Cheryl Swoops. I don't remember anybody hating Cheryl Swoops like that.
How many women's basketball players were such a well-known commodity before they went into the WNBA?
She is easily the biggest star from college.
Lisa
to pros.
Leslie first started when that first started, and they had Lisa Leslie, huge star. Obviously, Cheryl Swoops was a huge star. That's about it that I can think of that were that big of stars. And she was at a different level because there's something to be said when you are different than everybody else.
So,
right, Larry Bird, for example, you're different than everybody else, so you stand out.
Right.
So Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Swoops, and Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
A lot of alliteration there.
There is. Yes.
Good job, Nick.
Yeah.
Michael.
Uh-oh.
We know you hate soccer, but do you also hate the Raiders? I'm seriously asking because I have no idea. I really don't know. Either way, Messi has now played 2 matches at Arrowhead and has won both of them. Meanwhile, Derek Carr has been there 10 times and has won but 1 win. Damn it.
I've never hated the Raiders. Some of my favorite players as a kid played for the Raiders. Hard not to have favorites when you're watching the Raiders play back when I was a child.
Sure. 70s.
You had the man from Mars, you know? I mean, you had Dave Casper.
David Bowie?
Not that man from Mars.
Oh. Nice.
You had Dave Casper. This was incredible to watch, you know? And then Marcus Allen came along. No, I've never hated the Raiders.
What do you think about Messi having more wins at Arrowhead than Derek Carr?
Yeah, I don't care.
He's a soccer player.
The little dude, I know.
Tough look for Derek Carr.
Little dude.
He is. He's like
He's
5'6".
a tiny fella.
It's crazy, and he's the greatest soccer player of all time.
That's true.
Yeah.
Pele's the best. So there's nobody greater in the sports history than Pele.
I don't know. I think Messi.
That Pele.
Well, until a new person comes along.
Embrace debate.
Even if somebody else comes along and they have sandals and they can walk across the water, Pele's better.
Who was the best football player ever before Tom Brady?
Jerry Rice
Jim
is still
Brown.
the greatest every time.
Oh.
Jerry Rice is still the greatest football player.
Jerry Rice.
Jerry
Good
Rice,
one.
period. Done.
Friend of the Grum, Aaron Schatz, has proposed one more offseason move for all 32 NFL teams.
Oh, I love this.
Let's go.
For Josh's Cowboys, extend linebacker DeMarvion Overshone.
Nick, you pretty much nailed it.
That's pretty good.
For Michael Saints, extend receiver Chris Olave.
Olave.
There you go.
And for my Dolphins, forfeit every game to guarantee the number 1 overall draft pick. I'm kidding. Or am I? Trade Jordan Brooks, which would actually do a good job of helping them lose all the time.
I thought they already traded him. They didn't trade him. They were talking about trading him during the draft.
They've threatened and talked about trading a lot of people.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who's on the roster anymore. I'm going to
Yeah.
be Achan. We still have him.
You should go study the roster there, Nick.
Probably.
The Cowboys one, I don't know what you think about Olave, Michael, but Overshone, very injury prone, sadly, throughout his young career. He missed all of 2023. He got hurt at the end of 2024.
But when he plays,
he's
your
very
EPA is
exciting.
much higher.
So very exciting. And now we have the GOAT defensive coordinator, Christian Parker, who's going to be running the show, 34 years old. Let's go, Christian.
He's your savior.
Yeah, they're literally asked him like, "Hey, people calling you savior. What do you think about that?"
He's your savior.
Like,
I watched him do that one-on-one drills with Caleb Downs.
Yeah, what do you think about it?
Yeah, it moved a little bit.
Yeah, let's go, Christian.
Yeah, it was pretty special.
All that to say, I don't know if I would extend like that. You would do that because you're expecting a massive breakout from him, and I guess like it is possible. Apparently, he's going to be the green dot
when he
is
plays.
Very surprising. I know,
they play well.
I just hope that he's healthy. But like, can you extend a guy who's not really healthy and his agents?
Can you afford to not and have to? What you guys always end up doing?
I know because Jerry Jones is an idiot.
Yeah.
God. What about Olave? What do you think about extending?
Yeah,
him?
I think so. He proved last year he could stay healthy.
Mhm.
You know, he got over the concussion stuff. He scored down the stretch once till the shot got in there. I think he might have had 8 touchdowns, something like that. So yeah, I'd extend him, sure.
Football.
Related to my last thing, Michael, I actually need your advice on something.
Oh,
you buy crack over on St. Mary's?
Oh, wow.
Thank you. Actually, that was my second question.
Trying to help.
I don't want to watch the Dolphins this year because, as we mentioned, they're gonna suck bad.
Yeah.
I feel like I shouldn't watch them. I feel like I should be okay to not watch them and just suck it up and wait for them to get
to watch it.
the number 1 draft pick.
You gotta watch it. I've been
Also, I'll still keep up with like the scores and stuff, but
I've
watching
been
it,
through
it's such a
multiple
waste.
seasons where I was cheering for the Saints to not win games because I wanted them to get high draft picks.
You could root against them.
Yeah.
Well, what's going to end up happening is we're going to get Arch Manning, and then they're just going to have both Texas quarterbacks on their team as backups.
That's true.
That's all that's going to happen.
You should watch them, Nick. It'll be fun.
There are 4 different teams. Yeah, I would say 4 teams that you're competing for that first overall pick. So you might not get it.
It's going to be
I think the
a
Saints
lot
were
of
going
sucking.
to be there, and they end up 8th.
Yeah.
In the draft.
It's going to be a lot of sucking this year, Dick.
It's going to be North Carolina versus Oklahoma for the national championship. Who's playing the best baseball right now?
I'd say Oklahoma. Because combined to the way they're hitting too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their offense is on fire. We talked about it earlier with Colin Wilson. I guess he never answered the question.
And they're
on if he's
so
gonna hedge or not.
young.
It's nuts, all the freshmen that they
They're
have
so
playing right
young
now.
compared to everybody else's veterans.
Yeah.
The U.S. Open started today. That's golf. How much do you two expect to watch over the next few days?
A lot more than I have over the last decade. You know, I mean, you know it. College World Series comes around, and you just can't really watch it. Yeah. And now the championship series is happening, and I will not be down at the ballpark, and thus I will be at home. So
yeah, I'll definitely watch
I'll
Saturday,
watch a solid
Sunday.
amount. Yeah,
I'll watch that around finishing the last 4 episodes of Tom Hanks' World War II.
There you go.
Nice.
And it's Father's Day this weekend. That'll
And
be fun.
I worked the College World Series on Father's Day for like 12 straight years.
No off days, says Michael. The next generation shouldn't have it better. Vaccines, cancel those. We shouldn't have it better in healthcare or with off days
man,
at the
since
College World
polio,
Series.
we've had pretty good vaccines.
What do you mean since it's back, isn't it?
Polio is so
my
bad.
father-in-law is what do you call those people that are against the
Anti-vaxxers.
They fight. No, they fight both.
Oh,
polio.
my bad.
Polio fighters.
That's funny. There is a certain organization that's their pet thing, eliminating polio across the world.
Wow.
I know because it's still because it came back. Yeah.
Polio
not Regents.
Rotary and the fight against
Rotaries. The Rotaries.
Rotaries.
Oh, that's what the Rotary Club does?
He's a Rotarian in St. Paul, Nebraska.
Shout
No,
out.
that's what they did.
Yep.
Let's end it, folks.
Speaking of ending, we're going to end content after this.
Okay, because Michael's got to leave.
Ben Stiller is making a documentary about the Knicks. Are you interested?
No, but I'm incredibly interested in the Third Base movie that's coming out. Incredibly interested in that. Can't wait for that to come out.
Third Base.
Does she get naked?
Oh.
Third Base, the rap group. MC Search.
Got nothing for you.
Really?
I don't
I
recognize
watched-
it. I'm
yeah.
sorry. I also don't know.
Is that a rap group from the 80s? I've never
late
listened
80s. They had the song "The Gas Face," very very popular song called "The Gas Face," where they made fun of MC Hammer.
Okay.
And MC Hammer's people put a hit out on MC Search. We're gonna kill
85
him.
to 94.
Yeah,
is when they were.
and then
mainly...
MC Search became a producer and produced a bunch of great albums. But yeah, they're making a movie about Third Base.
Oh, I
that's cool.
apologize. No interest there.
DiCaprio's in it.
I'm
Yeah.
interested. That
It's
sounds
going
cool.
to be incredible.
Wait, Leonardo?
Yeah,
What?
can play one of the members of the band. Yeah.
What?
Yes.
What other
But he's-
DiCaprio would it
But,
be,
but
Josh?
Leonardo DiCaprio is old now. How can he play a member of the band that was popular when they were young?
The picture I saw, the what do they call those when they release those pictures for the movies, the trades or
Promos,
whatever?
yeah.
Yeah, he looked good.
Hmm.
And the guy who's playing MC Search is actually producing and writing the movie.
Oh, wow.
That's cool.
All right. Well, I see everything that Leonardo DiCaprio.
But I
is
do
in,
not care about the.
I'll watch the Knicks doc. Bing bong.
Bing bong.
Congrats to
I'd
them.
watch it over the Boston Celtics doc, which I never watched.
Yeah, why would you want to do that? All right, when we return, Michael will be gone, but Nick and I will be here, and we'll talk about all sorts of stuff.
Vaccines.
We will not talk about vaccines because it's obvious that you should just get them. But we will talk other stuff along the way, and we will also have what's for dinner, which I don't know what we're having for dinner. I need to ask my
spoilers.
Need to ask my wife.
Jonah Hill
for dinner.
He's doing all that stuff.
I literally did not hear about
It's
this
Jonah.
at all.
It's not?
Okay.
Maybe it was a fake thing. Maybe it wasn't real.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't know.
don't
But I
wanna
saw promos for it yesterday. I was very excited.
All right, more to come. We'll get ready to wrap up the show next on 1620 The Zone. Welcome back. It's Unsportsmanlike Conduct here on 1620 The Zone. A reminder that you can go to 1620thezone.com right now. Enter online for the 1620 The Zone road trip, though I think we should call it 1620 The Road Trip.
I agree.
4 tickets to a Royals-Tigers game on August the 23rd, just a couple months away, inside the Blue Moon Tap Room, and you get a free parking pass. I'll be at that game as well. So
baseball, because it's baseball season.
Well, it'll be football season by that point in time, Nick, because it already is. 4 passes to Adventureland, $150 to Early Bird, 10 Wallies for a year, and a $100 Hy-Vee gift card. Again, information can be found at 1620thezone.com. Let's see. J-Man writes, 69
nice
is what the AD did to Posh Jeterson's media credentials after the call last season. They 69'd me, or they 69'd my credentials?
Did they 86 the credentials?
86. I believe that was the number that we are looking for there.
Careful, you can't say the 86 things anymore.
You're not allowed to say that?
Yeah.
How come? What did I miss?
People have gotten in trouble.
Man, literally, I get in trouble?
No.
Okay, it was fake in trouble. Yeah, I've missed a lot. I seemingly I didn't miss as much as Happer did over the course of the last week, but I seemingly did miss a lot. I poked my head up a little bit and tried to figure out what's happened in the sports world. I know the Knicks won though. I knew that, and I know the Panthers won too. Hurricanes.
I know. See, I don't even know who
Carolina won the Stanley Cup in 6 games.
I knew that the Knicks won. I knew the Sorsby stuff was finally done, and
yes.
Another thing that I learned totally out of pocket, that one soccer player who plays for Ivory Coast, but he also plays in the French, like the top French team in the Premier League or whatever, was in trouble for throwing a game or intentionally getting a yellow card.
Oh, I missed this.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's fun.
But he's allowed into Canada now, so I guess that's fine.
I told this to John on the way out the door last night as we were all saying goodbye. In his 2 weeks off. So tomorrow is the last time John did the show, and he did it from Lincoln.
Yes.
Right? Because last week the College World Series started. He was off all of last week. In the 2 weeks that John has been gone, Brendan Sorsby has been allowed to play college football and has decided to go into the NFL. And I am very jealous that he has missed that entire news cycle, or at least having to opine about it.
I kind of talked with you about this a little bit on our way out last night. How long until we get the next Sorsby situation where it's either another Southern judge making a really dumb decision or another kid? Because I feel
I'd say there's two prongs. Are you saying when will the next judge thing happen, or when will the next gambling thing happen?
Kind of. I guess that is 2 things. Maybe both. Not at the same time, but maybe both of those prongs, because I feel very unsatisfied with the whole Sorsby thing. I feel like nothing was really resolved. Well, it was just a bunch of posturing, and then the Big 12 is just like, hey, don't do that. And then he decided to move on.
Well, but I would say that's a big thing that happened.
But I feel like no problems got solved. I feel like I said, this is going to happen again.
It is absolutely going to happen again. That's a great point. So what is more likely? I mean, honestly, the answer is both, because I have zero doubt that at some point during this next calendar school year, there will be judges involved. We saw that with college basketball, with Bediako in particular at Alabama, the former pro guy who was trying to play college basketball. It was all very ridiculous. We saw Trinidad Chambliss, the Ole Miss quarterback, get allowed to play college football. And that's going to happen this year because of what a judge said. I think in January is when all of that stuff went down. So that is no doubt going to happen. I do find when will the next gambling scandal hit a more interesting question, because I think that something like that is very likely to happen again in the near future. Dare I say in this upcoming season. You look back at so gambling became legalized, I believe, in 2018. And then 2019 is when I always think about it around here, because we started doing the shows over in Iowa because sports books were up and running by that point in time, right? So that's for us here locally. You're talking about 7 years worth of legalized gambling. And there have been a few big moments along the way. There was the college baseball scandal from 2-3 years ago, where the coach was feeding information to a gambler at a professional baseball ballpark of all places, I believe in Cincinnati. That was the Alabama head coach, if I remember right. There was all this stuff that happened with the Iowa and Iowa State players over the last 3-4 years ago now, 2-3 years ago, somewhere in that range. There's this. There was Chauncey Billups in the NBA and a lot of the stuff that was going on there. And then we've seen a myriad of players with over-unders on their props, right? A bunch of those types of things. This was very unique because it was a current college football player making a lot of bets in seemingly a very short amount of time. And of course, the big thing about it that I think got a lot of our dander up, mine included, was betting on his team and on his team's games. But when you have, and real quick, take a step back. So I again, given we're doing cultural series stuff, have missed some of the reporting, but it sure seems like, or at least there's an accusation out there that Cincinnati knew about all this, that he was there for multiple years and they knew about this, which if that's true, I mean, then I have multiple questions. One, yikes, why did they not do anything with it? And the other is, if they knew, like, come on, Texas Tech probably had to know the answer, or that he was doing that.
They had to have known what they were getting.
Yeah. And
so
I look at that from that perspective, and I just think about how easy it is to do all of this stuff with a phone in your pocket. And of course, there are other players who are doing this.
In a lot of ways, to me, right now, this feels like the new version of getting paid under the table. Like, NIL is legal, but how many players are actively gambling and their coaches know about it? I'm not saying they encourage it, but they know about it and they're just kind of keeping it hush hush.
That's a great question, Nick. I would not be surprised. I mean, certainly, I'd love to see some raw statistics of like men who are 18 to 25. How many men 18 to 25 have gambled in the last month? How many men 18 to 25 have gambled in the last month on their phone? I mean, if you're gambling in your last month, probably all of it's going to be on your phone. And how many of them are doing so illegally, aka with like a local bookie? I would love to know the stats, because it's just like kind of whenever we've talked about, like, are there gay athletes in sports? The answer is obviously yes, because statistically it's impossible for there not to be. It's just they don't feel comfortable coming out. Not to, we're talking about two different things here, but what I'm basically trying to do is a statistical model. If there are, I'm just going to throw out a random number, 25%, it's probably not that low. 50% men 18 to 25 are gambling. Maybe it's not 50% of college athletes, because you are told when you get there you can't do it, but it's definitely above 0%. And where is it?
This is just the first wave of it, I really feel. Because, I mean, you said gambling's been legal for, 7 years now? These kids who are, 18 now, this is their formative years. They grew up watching different sports and being peppered with all these ads and all of these quick ways to get money. And then other internet influencers probably don't help much. It's
very pervasive.
It's kind of molding the brains of people at a time period where your brain is very susceptible to being molded by things.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And I often think about, like, hopefully in a lot of ways, I don't feel like I have that addictive of a personality. I mean, I have my vices. I think we all do. A thing I'm probably addicted to is running. I feel like I have a good, healthy relationship with it, though. I have friends who have gone way too far into it and have, to the point of hurting themselves. Thankfully, that hasn't happened to me. But I also look back and I wonder if I'm a little bit younger, if I'm your age, or if I'm even younger than that, if I'm 24, 25 right now, if I'm McMaster's age, I always wonder, like, what would that mean for me in that regard?
I feel like I got off right at the edge of it to where I've done it. Obviously, I've done it when I'm back home in Iowa or whatever. And I get it, but I didn't grow up being peppered with this stuff. I mean, part of that's just the media I consume growing up too.
I was going to say.
It's like I didn't really grow up watching SportsCenter or wherever these places advertising. But I could feel myself being like, okay, maybe I should pull back a little bit. Not that I was getting addicted to it, but I was like, oh, it's cool to have money, but maybe I should pull back, because in the long run, you're losing.
Yep. Yeah. And that's the thing. You're very rarely going to actually be winning these things. That's why I stopped, for the most part, betting, is because it was like, well, it's fun and it makes games enjoyable in some ways, but I'm also not winning a whole lot. And I was just like, nah, I'm good. And I was a $10 game bettor. It's not like I was doing anything crazy.
I mean, me too. That's what I was doing. I would rather be emotionally invested in what I'm watching than being financially or monetarily invested.
Aaron texted into the show, 402-951-1620. I think he says, you nailed it. I think it happens when the next team, a rival, has info and releases it at a good time. Yeah, I would venture to guess that something like this is absolutely going to go down. The follow-up questions that I would have is, like, how soon until it happens? Is it going to happen in season? Because, like, that's, if anything, like, this was a really good learning experience, I think, for all of us. But it did happen in the summer. I think the first reports came out at the end of April, early May. So you're talking about, that's the spring. Technically, we're not even in the summer yet. And it is all resolved in mid to late June. And so we are now still 2.5 months from the start of the season. We're over a month away from practice. Like, Texas Tech's going to have plenty of time to plan and figure out what exactly their offense is going to look like without Sorsby. Okay. and they deface themselves in the process. What if it happens in the middle of a season? What if it happens in week 2 or 3 of the season? And what is the response? Because the response from Texas Tech was very swift, and they said all sorts of things. Oh, hey, we're just supporting our guy. We're supporting our guy. But again, I would use the term debased. I think that they very much debase themselves. So what happens the next time that this goes down? Because you hit it. And like one of the things that I have seen kind of as a pushback to anybody who feels the way that I do about the Sorsby stuff is like, congratulations, everybody. You saved college sports. Now nobody will be gambling illegally, and no one will be. And it's like
nothing to see here with everything exploding.
Yeah, it's like that's the point that I've been trying to make is never that. It's I hope that this deters people from doing this. I would hope that it does. Like he's not going to be able to play college football, and now there will always be an association with Brendan Sorsby of what he did. I wouldn't want to get in trouble for something like this and have it destroy my life, even though he did get paid $5 million.
I wouldn't either. But again, is it really a deterrent? He got paid $5 million for not having to do anything, and now he's declaring for the draft. Now, whether he gets drafted or not is a different story, but he seems like he wasn't really punished for most of this.
I mean, I would say I wouldn't. I mean, look, $5 million in my bank account sounds pretty cool. Man, I would feel like my face would be red and I would have a pit in my stomach all the time right now. Like it's easy to say just because it's like, yeah, he gets to play football and he has a lot of money, but people view him in a particular light.
I also hated the way that they kind of Texas Tech handled this, where they were trying to be like, it's like, oh, he's getting treatment. He's got a problem, but he's going through treatment. It's like, well, if he needs treatment and he has a problem,
why is he back at practice?
Yeah,
for sure.
Give him the help he needs.
I think it leads to quite the eye roll. Oh, hey, sorry that politician had this affair. I went to treatment though, and everything's going to be okay. Got a text 402-951-1620. Different position, would we care as much? Quarterback makes it way bigger. Excellent point. If this happened, I mean, the first guy that I can remember in the NFL once everything got legalized was Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley did a same-game parlay, or maybe multiple same-game parlays. I believe one of them at least was bet on while he was at the training facility for who the Falcons was he with at the time, the Jaguars. And it was like, he got banned for a year. He got suspended for an entire year. And, Calvin Ridley, I know his name. Don't think, everybody who's watching the NFL knows his name. And so it wasn't like, it was a big deal, but it was like, and then he got in trouble and we all just kind of moved on. The thing that I think exploded this is who he is and that he is a quarterback, the team that he plays for, and how hard that they fought. That, I guess my follow-up to that, I'll ask just another question. I just keep throwing out questions. If the school responds like Texas Tech did, if it's a left tackle, it's going to blow up. If the left tackle, especially as an NFL prospect, it is going to blow up. I think that all of that really does matter. But if it's like a fourth string receiver at Nebraska, I think people would move on fairly quickly. But I also don't think that Nebraska would fight so hard.
Part of me wonders if it would actually have a bigger impact if it was a left tackle, because it's like, oh, if this is how they're cracking down on a left tackle, what would they do with a quarterback or a wide receiver?
Yeah, I bet if it happened, no pun intended, if this happens again and it happens with a lesser player on a roster, that I think that team's going to throw that guy into the wolves. The more interesting one to me is if it happens again with a quarterback. If it happens again with a player of his stature, does that school fight, or do they see what the response was with Tech and they decide not to do it? Interesting. And there, John got to miss all of that.
Wow, what a good conversation.
What a good conversation. All right, when we return, Aaron agrees with us, by the way. He says, Nick made a very good comment.
Oh, thank you.
Great, good conversation. Dead serious. You guys are doing great on this. Thank you, Aaron. We appreciate that. All right, when we return, I just found out what's for dinner, so we will have that when we return. Also, we get you ready for tomorrow's show and remind you what our movie club pick is. And we beg Nick not to pick something off of Pluto.
I really want to pick it, though.
He does indeed. More to come. We'll wrap up the Grum next year on 1620 The Zone.
When you knock us down, we're going to get up. And on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off.
Crust is good on your pizza, not your ass.
I will eat your ass first.
He's tough as a Woolworth steak.
And then it's going to take 2 more shots to knock us down. All right. And on the way up, we're going to take your other kneecap.
I'm ready to hang them up, gut them, and skin them, and chop them up. You know what? I'm ready. My daughters aren't starving to death. I'll eat my neighbors.
And we're going to get up, and then it's going to take 3 shots to get us down. And when we do, we're going to take another hunk out of you.
Cliff, what are you going to take away as your best memory from playing basketball at Boston College?
Probably just like going out to eat.
All right, Nick, what's for dinner?
I'm not sure. Paige's mom is in town, and she's a great cook. I was leaving the house this morning. She's like, "Oh, what do you want for dinner?" I'm like, "I don't know." So hopefully I'll find out when I get home. Yeah,
interesting. Well, Chris writes, "Great show today, boys." Thank you, Chris. It's been nice now listening to Grumpy John. Hey, that's mean. And his slop for dinner.
I like John's dinner slop.
Yeah, it's don't worry, friends. It'll be slop season again soon.
Slop's back on the menu, boys.
I bet he's been missing it because he's been in Omaha every day for the last week.
Yeah.
We are having chicken noodle soup tonight. What's wrong, Nick?
It's June 18th. It's too hot for soup.
Well, tell that to my wife.
It's too hot for soup.
I'm going to tell her that when I get home.
It's too hot for soup.
Homemade chicken noodle soup, Nick. Does that change your opinion?
I'm sure it's delicious. It's too hot for soup.
And I look forward to her yelling at you.
I don't want soup when it's hot outside.
All right. We had a conversation off the air about Nick's movie club pick. He said, "Can I just tell you what it is?"
Mm-hmm.
And he told me, and I own it on Blu-ray. So I said, that sounds totally good.
Perfect.
And I have not watched this movie in a while. Now I have, and this maybe is going to, it's not going to give away anything if I'm being honest. But I do have an unrated edition of this movie.
There's an unrated. Do I own the unrated edition?
Now, you know what, Nick? Here's what I might do. I might watch it, and then I could loan you the disc.
Oh,
I guess you said you own it, though.
Yeah,
right?
I do own it.
Yeah.
I just don't know if it's that version.
I think it's just, I don't want to give anything away on what makes it unrated, because then I think it would allow people to get into guest territory just a little too quickly. But I will tell you when we log off. So I told him to do it, and we don't think John has seen this movie, which is very important.
Yeah, I think earlier in the booth this week, I think Farron and I had talked about it, or Happer and one of us were talking about it, and I think John mentioned that he hadn't seen it.
Awesome. So that's what we'll be. We'll find out what Nick's pick is tomorrow. Coming up tomorrow on the Movie Club, though, French Connection with Stibbs.
Oui.
Stibbs is in the building. That is available on Amazon Prime. We will also have John is going to stop by. He'll be doing the car wash at the stadium, chatting with all sorts of coaches and players ahead of the College World Series. I got a text from her. You should make Nick feel bad about what he said about our dinner. Yeah, Nick.
I'm not saying anything bad about your dinner. I'm sure it'll be good. I just don't like soup when it's hot outside.
Aaron says your wife is so good at cooking. Love this.
Again, I'm not disparaging the quality of the food. It's not slop.
So that's what we have coming up on the show tomorrow. One Beer Friday. Get you ready for the weekend. The United States will be playing at 2:00, so we'll have World Cup to react
to.
to.
Stibbs is stoked for that.
I think he roots for America in the World Cup.
Yeah.
All that and more tomorrow. For Michael, who joined us earlier, for Nick, I'm Josh. Have a great night. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.